The Louie Tee Network is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome to Washington Commanders, or the Command Post Game Show Overtime. Wow. We don't make things easy on ourselves, that's for sure. But a win's a win's a win in the National Football League. We'll take them anyway that we can get them. And so we don't like nice things, but I can say that for as much shit as I talked, and I told y'all this on Friday, I could sit here and talk all the shit I want about wanting a blowout. And I made sure that I threw this in there on Friday because in the back of my mind, but I wasn't going to speak that into existence. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, we still are at Washington. And we don't like making things easy on ourselves. There was no way in my mind we were going to lose this game. And even as we were struggling and the offense couldn't get going and we were turning the ball over and then the rain came, there were so many different things that had transpired that really made it difficult on Washington today. And some of it, a lot of it, self-inflicted. Never thought we were going to lose this game. And I'm so happy that the defense stepped up and made plays when we needed them to be made, because this offense wasn't going to be able to do it by itself. They weren't going to be able to go 80 yards and score a touchdown. They just weren't going to do it. Eric Bieniemy, I didn't necessarily love some of the play calling, but it's not on him, totally. The offensive line was not good today, but they weren't terrible. Some of you are probably going to overreact, but they were not good today. Sam could have helped them out a little bit more. Sam himself, and these are the ups and downs that you're going to have with the young quarterback. There will be mistakes. I've warned you. But when we needed him the most in the red zone, if we would have settled for field goals, we would have lost this game. Sam did it with his legs to create, extend, and then find Brian Robinson Jr. in the end zone. And then he did it with his legs. He took out his do-it-yourself kit and took off and ran for the touchdown by his lonesome. So you say what you want about Sam, and he definitely had some issues today, whether it was holding on to the damn ball too long. The fumble can't happen. The Cardinals did not score an offensive touchdown today. You cannot give them a free 7 points. You can't do that. Not with a team like Arizona who cannot score on their own. You cannot do that. He'll learn. He'll get better. And these are some of the things you got to take when you got a mobile quarterback who likes to extend. I've talked about this with you guys already. When you have a quarterback like Sam, and you look around the league at the guys who love to extend plays and make things happen, there's also boo-boos that come out of those sometimes. I'll take my chances, though. I'll take my chances with Sam running around trying to make something happen. But you cannot fumble that football in that situation. Got to protect the rock. And as much as I wanted an ass kicking today, it wasn't in the cards. But I told y'all on Friday, I can talk all the shit I want. But as long as we come out on top, I may be disappointed, and I'm disappointed. I may be disappointed with how we played and how we got to the outcome that we got to, which is, a close victory, but I am not giving it back, and I am not apologizing. Very unapologetic, as a matter of fact. Shout out to the crowd. Okay, let's start there. Shout out to the crowd, the 60,000 plus that was in attendance. You could hear it. I got goosebumps. On that possession, defensively, after the defense had forced the turnover and then the offense had scored the touchdown and then the defense came back onto the field, and I got goosebumps on that third down when they forced the punt. They were loud. And the announcer, Adam Amin, did a great job of just saying, hey, just take it in. Just listen to the crowd. And he just let us have it. And boy, they were loud. It was lovely. Shout out to my guy, Francis McLaughlin. Thank you for the generous donation. I want to get that out of the way. I've been meaning to do that for like 2 videos now, and I've forgotten every single time. So I want to get that out of the way, man. Big ups to my guy, Francis McLaughlin, for the biggest donation. I really, truly do appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So where do we start in this football game? I think we start at the beginning. The Cardinals, first of all, they were physical. I'm going to tell you that they're not a good football team. We made them look a lot better than what they truly are. I don't know who they're playing next week. I would not be surprised if it's somebody in the division, because I think we had determined on the Super Friends stream that the Cardinals were playing the entire division in the first 3 or 4 weeks, right? Or their first 3 games were in the division, I think. Somebody's getting Kyler Murray late in the season. I think it might be the Giants, but I think it's Eagles and Dallas coming up the next 3. I think it's Eagles next week and then Dallas in week 3. The Eagles will smash these boys, beat them up good. I'm talking about 37-10. I mean, destroy them. They're going to make them look like how they're supposed to look. Unfortunately, we weren't ready to do that yet. But they were physical, man. Let's get physical. I felt like we didn't match their intensity at the beginning of this game. They came out with a chip on their shoulder. They heard all the noise all offseason about how trash they were going to be and how they're going after Caleb Williams and they're going to be in that sweepstakes. And, you know, they just traded for Josh Dobbs and this, that, and the third. They've been laughed at and they knew it. And they came out and they had pent up aggression and they unloaded that shit on us. And I didn't appreciate the way they hit Sam. And I'm not going to lie to you, it looked like Sam had something going on up here after that. The eyes were always squinting. Look, I'm not saying he did, but damn it, I wouldn't be shocked if he did. They were physical. They were hitting us. They were getting after us early in the game. And I didn't feel like we matched their intensity. It almost felt like we thought they were going to come in here and lie down for us, and we were going to just trample all over them because we had a sellout crowd and they were supposed to suck this year. Well, they had other plans. And I didn't think we matched the intensity early on. But we took the lead 7-3. And the Cardinals, not only did they come out physically, they also pulled out all the stops, trick plays, different things that you thought you were going to get in week 1. And I talked about that as well. Another thing that I talked about, don't give them life. We'll talk about those things on the show tomorrow, you know, going through some of the keys to the game and things of that nature. And I also said turnovers are the great equalizer. That Antonio Gibson fumble was reminiscent of Curtis Samuel last year. We had a chance to put a stranglehold on this game. You go up 14-6 right there, they're dead in the water. Instead, he fumbles, and it changed the entire game. Now we were in a fight for our lives. Who knows what happens if you go down and you score a touchdown right there and you take a 14-3 lead. 14-6, whatever the score was at the time. I think it was 7-6 at that time. Who knows what the hell happens? We never got to find out. And my question was, why the hell was he even in the game? He was getting more carries than Brian Robinson at the beginning of the game. I don't understand this fixation with Antonio Gibson as a running back. You want to throw it to him? Fine. What happened to all this shit that we were told we were going to get with him out of the backfield as a pass catcher? They were featuring him strictly as a running back and giving him the lion's share of the carries early in this game. Why? Make it make sense to me. Anyway, the turnovers were massive in the first half. 3 of them that led to 10 Arizona Cardinal points. You're not going to win very many games doing that. You're just not. And we're lucky that the Cardinals were inept offensively and weren't able to punch a couple of those turnovers into the end zone, or else this is a different ball game. But shout out to the defense. Even though it took a while, because I'm looking at the turnover differential and it's 3-0. And I'm like, I remember typing this in. Shout out to the mob. You know, you guys were good. You were a lot better than you normally are in situations like this. It wasn't as doom and gloom as I thought it was going to be as we got down. Somebody had the audacity to ask me, however, what are you going to do if we lose? That's a loser comment. That's a loser question. Don't ask me loser questions, okay? I let the losers worry about losing. I'm tired of telling y'all that. We're not losing this game, so I'm not worried about what I would say if we lose because we're not losing. So don't ask me no dumbass shit. Anyway, at the end of the day, the defense stepped up when we needed them most. And first and foremost, how about the defense not giving up a single touchdown in this game? How about that? Let's start there. Arizona stinks, and you made sure that they didn't find pay dirt on your watch. How about that? I love it. You gave up some plays, and that shit's going to happen, but you said, hey, you will not cross that thick white line that separates paint from green grass. You won't find that. And they didn't. Shout out to the defense for that. Bend but don't break. All right? Then 2 massive turnovers. If this don't look like a Montez Sweat, I'm about the Daron Payne go get paid type of start to the season, I don't know what is, because he was in his bag today. In the run game, which we know he's a dominant run defender, and getting after the quarterback. That sack, forced fumble, biggest play of the game, because offensively we were dead. Stadium dead at that moment. We had no energy. We had no life. We had no momentum. And he changed the entire complexity of the game with that sack, forced fumble, the recovery. And then after that, you saw the defense wake the hell up after that. We started getting after Josh Dobbs because we really weren't getting after him before that. We started getting after Josh Dobbs. We started shutting down their run game, and we didn't give them anything really in the pass game. Then on the second fumble, shout out to Montez Sweat again, because Dobbs scooped that up and Sweat went in with 2 hands and knocked it out of his damn hands. Like, nah, bro, you're not picking that up. Then he had another stop on a run play when they tried to get outside of him, and they gave it to the speedy receiver, Rondale Moore, and he was like, nah, bro, bring your little ass back here. So Sweat was in his bag today. Jonathan Allen with a big sack late. How about Daron Payne? At one point, I looked at Payne, I said, bro, are you the only one that wants some today? Because clearly nobody else has showed up and want to make an impactful play before Sweat started getting involved. It was the Daron Payne show. Starring Daron Payne, co-starring Daron Payne. He was outstanding. The D-line, which we've talked about this and we've invested a lot in it, they earned their keep today. They were the stars of the show. And then at the end, Kendall Fuller, let me make sure I give him some love, because a lot of y'all like to shit on Kendall for whatever reason. I can't explain it, but you love to shit on Kendall. He was outstanding today. He was outstanding. And then the young fella stepped up at the end and said, let me shut this door. Let me shut it and close it and lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock that bitch up. Game, set, match. Take y'all ass back to Arizona. Think y'all coming in here getting a dub? Hell no. A lot closer than we all wanted it to be. But you know what? Sometimes it bees like that. Am I disappointed at the turnovers? Am I disappointed at the lack of cohesion offensively? These are things that you expect. I was hoping we could circumvent them. Look around the league. New Orleans scored 16 points today. Beat Tennessee 16-15. The Cincinnati Bengals scored 3 whole points today. The offense is always behind the defense. I'm not making excuses. We turned it over 3 times. That shit is inexcusable. So we're not going to make excuses for mistakes that are correctable and that are avoidable. But what I will tell you is this is a new offense, new offensive line, first year starting quarterback, new offensive coordinator. There's going to be a lot of growing pains. And all you can hope is that while we're continuing to try to gel and mesh and get this thing on the right, on the right track and get everybody playing at a high level, we're winning games all the while trying to figure some things out. This was one you had to have. You couldn't afford to drop this one. Don't know what's going to happen next week on the road at Denver, but you had to have this one. Now, I will say, if you play this way against Buffalo in 2 weeks, you stand 0 chance of winning that game. We should be a much better team by the time we see the Buffalo Bills in week 3. But we're not talking about week 3 right now. We're focusing here on week 1 and how we were able to get the 20-16 victory. Look, offensively, there were some good things that were done. Good to see the receivers getting involved. Jahan, Terry. Terry was open on one play. Somebody said it got tipped. I just thought Sam missed, right? Flat out missed Terry on that deep over route where, Terry's running away from the defender. Got to have that one if it wasn't tipped. Maybe it was. but it didn't look tipped to me. It just looked like Sam missed. Can't miss those, and then the next play, I think he got sacked. Like, those are drive killers. Can't happen. Gotta have it, But I thought the receivers looked good. Curtis with a big catch before half to set up the field goal attempt. He had a couple of nice catches today. So the receivers looked the part, right? I thought Brian Robinson ran hard. I thought he should have gotten, more touches. I know they want to spread it around. They want to get everybody involved. F that. Get your best players on the field and get them the football. And how about we run the football out of under centers a little bit more? I thought there was an imbalance early in the game. Obviously, you're going to look at the statistics, and it's not going to look as imbalanced because all we did was run it late in the game. So it's going to make it look like we were more balanced. But no, they didn't run the ball enough early in this ball game. I thought they were too heavy and too reliant on Sam early in this ball game, almost as if they were trying to showcase him. Let the running backs get a little something. Let the drummer get a little something. Get a drummer some. Get a running back some. But probably my most frustrating offensive moment, obviously the fumble and you give up just 7 points like that. That's as frustrating as it gets. But how about late? The defense gets, the stop and creates a short field for you. A turnover actually creates a short field for you. And you just go straight conservo mode. Like, I get it. They haven't scored a touchdown on your defense all day, and you don't think they're capable. But do you trust the operation right now? Cheese snapped one on the ground, and then he snapped one at Tress's helmet. Do you really trust that operation right now? Like, that wasn't that to me. That was some last year shit. This is why we brought EB here, so that we didn't have to worry about not being able to convert in the red zone and being scared. This is why we got Sam Howell. And I get it. He almost got picked off a couple of times. And maybe you get a little nervous. You don't want anything stupid to happen. But that's when you go for the jugular. You already had a field goal, and you keeping it on the ground is your way of saying, we're going to get this field goal. We already had a field goal. And Sam did take a bad sack. And so I get that. I get all of that. I get where I get the rationale behind it. I just don't like it. It sends the wrong message to me. It sends ultimate confidence in your defense message, but it also, conversely, on the other side, sends a message that, hey, we don't believe in the offense's ability to execute here and not do something stupid that's going to cost us an opportunity to have a chip shot field goal. And for that, I just can't get with that. Like, we're supposed to be turning over a new leaf. We won the game, and I'm excited about that, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm upset about winning. I'm not. I'm disappointed. I'm not upset about how we won either. I'm disappointed in how we won. I'm not mad because at the end of the day, a win's a win in the National Football League. We put one in the left-hand column. In 5 weeks from now, when Arizona's 0-5 and everybody's getting some, I'm not going to be worried and lamenting the fact that we only beat them 20-16. We beat Arizona just like everybody else. That's what I'm going to say. They ain't beat us. So some of you are going to be upset, and there's a lot to talk about. There is so much to correct from this game, and we knew it's going to be like that. We knew that along this journey, there are going to be games like this where we don't win, where we're going to come out here and we're going to be frustrated at how we played, and there were mistakes made. But we got the dub. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. And I thought Sam stood in there tall at times. I thought Sam, stood in there too long sometimes. I thought Sam missed a couple of throws. He got one batted. Obviously, he's a smaller guy, so he's going to have to find those windows, right, and be a little bit more efficient in doing that. Can't have balls tipped because, as you saw, it got picked off. But all in all, I thought it was a solid performance from Sam Howell. He accounted for both touchdowns, one scrambling, one extending and making a great play to square his hips, right? And throw a dart in between a lot of traffic. There were a lot of Arizona Cardinals there. And I thought there were times when he stood in the pocket with a lot of, garbage around him, delivered, accurate balls. Logan had a drop early in the game. I know a lot of people are going to come down hard on Logan. It was not one of his finer performances. he's going to have to get his act together because, again, for me and my money, if you're throwing the football and the tight end is going to be a huge part of that particular read, why not Cole Turner right now? Right? He had a great catch today. So, and Logan came back, had a nice catch, on the right sideline later on in the game. He had a catch and run that was called back because of John Bates' offensive pass interference that I thought was trash. But all in all, Sam's first performance was solid. I got no issues with what I saw from him today. Definitely some correctable, moments and some things that he can clean up. But these are a part of the growing pains. But he made enough plays for us to win this game. And without those plays, we don't. Without the play of the defense, we don't win this game. Special teams did their jobs. No issues there. And it was a three-phase effort to win this game. We needed all three phases. Joey Slide, 3 of 3. Was he 3 of 3 or 2 of 2? 2 of 2 in the field goal department for Joey Slide. Tressway with a bomb of a punt late in the game to flip the field position, which was huge. And great coverage by All-Pro Revo and company. Cam Cheeseman made a great tackle on one of those punt returns as well. So special teams was huge in this game. Defense obviously was the star of the show. I mean, the 2 turnovers that they forced, not giving up a single touchdown. I don't know how many sacks they had. Sweat had 2 by himself. They'll probably give somebody a half of that, maybe James Smith-Williams or somebody a half of the first sack that he got, but he definitely had the sack force fumble by himself. I know that Allen had one. I don't know if they'll count that little play that Josh Dobbs ran where he got stuffed in the backfield by Allen and James Smith-Williams as a sack or not, but we got after the quarterback in the second half. We really didn't we limited them in the pass game. No explosives given up in this game. Cam Curl was everywhere. He was flying around, almost had a pick. Percy Butler. So I'll just say this and then I'll get to the comment section. Percy Butler should have had a pick. And I think the Cardinals ultimately got a field goal on that drive, if I'm not mistaken. First possession of the second half when they moved it down the field and got a field goal to make it 16-10. We knew Percy couldn't catch from the Cleveland game, especially a wet ball, at least. Because when we played against Cleveland, he had that pick before halftime. Remember, the shit went right through his hands, bounced off his chest plate in the air, and then he double caught it, and then he got the pick. And he did the same shit here, except this one didn't bounce off of his chest plate. It bounced off of his face, and he didn't catch it. Great coverage by Percival. He's right in the hip pocket of the tight end. He undercuts the route. You did all the hard work. Now catch the damn ball, man. We can't talk about starting fast and creating turnovers, and then you get an opportunity, and you don't seize the opportunity. That was another opportunity to take points off the scoreboard. Elite defenses don't miss those opportunities. They look good today, though. They look good. That's a great start for the defense. I feel good about what I saw today. I'll feel even better next week if we can duplicate what we did today. I'll say that. I expected us to do what we did to Arizona's offense today. I expected that. They're the Arizona Cardinals, and they're starting Josh Dobbs. We were supposed to do that to them. Doesn't mean you don't still get a gold star, because you do. All right? But you were supposed to do that. Do it next week against Denver's offense. I don't know what they're going to look like against the Raiders today. I'll be, keeping an eye on them, see what they ultimately do. But do it again next week. Stack these kind of performances on top of each other, and then we can start throwing around the E word a little bit. We're not there yet, though. But this was a dominant performance by the defense for sure, and we don't win this game without it. All right, let's get to the comment section, see what you guys are talking about. Timothy Santiago, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I just got to look, y'all don't mind if I take a little bit of the edge off, right? Y'all don't mind if I take a little bit of the edge off. They had my nerves bad in week 1. I was not expecting this, man. I really, truly wasn't. This was not supposed to be my life at 4:30 in the afternoon, but here we are because we're the Commanders and we don't like nice things. So just bear with me as I take a little bit of the edge off because my nerves are bad right now. Timothy Santiago, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Right. Offensive David Mayo / John Bates on the attempt to lose the game almost destroyed my soul. Sam throw to Robinson was clean as F, HTTC. That throw, I don't know if he was throwing it to him or to Logan Thomas, because Logan, if you saw in the background, was diving. So I don't know who he was throwing it to. I'm just going to give him the credit and say that he was throwing it to B-Rob. But B-Rob might have, got in front of it and snatched that bitch and made it look clean as F, when it might have really been for Logan. If I'm Sam, I'm telling you I was throwing it to B-Rob, even if I was throwing it to Logan. But Bates, I mean, that play wasn't going to hurt us. On the holding penalty late wasn't going to kill us. Look, it would have made it a lot easier to just be able to take a knee after getting that first down. But B-Rob literally ran into the pile, broke a tackle, and then bounced it. And once you bounce it, generally you're blocking because you think the play is going to the opposite side. And then when it comes back your way and that guy tries to release, it's hard to just let him go. Your instinct is to hold on and hope you don't get caught. And so he got caught. It is what it is. I didn't even love that call. I didn't think it was that bad of a, it was a little, he had his hands up under the pads, right? Which is where you can't have them. But I actually thought it was a clean block, but whatever. What effectively happened on that play was B-Rob ate up like 8 to 9 seconds because of how long that play lasted. It put us in a position where the Cardinals weren't going to get another offensive snap. So that holding penalty sucked because it took away the first down, but it left the clock with like 50 seconds at that point. You run another play, you kill 4 more seconds or so, and then that puts you in a position where I think it was 8 seconds left on the clock. So you felt good. You punt that bad boy. Tress is going to at least get you 4 to 5 seconds of hang time, which he did. They're going to try to return it, and the game's over, and that's what happened. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Elf Life writes, Tez so much better than Chase, not even close. Well, we talked about this. We debated about this. I didn't, because I told you, of the two, Montez is the dude that's going to get paid. That's the guy that they respect in that locker room. That's the guy that the coaching staff believes in. Jack Del Rio hasn't spoken about Chase Young once this offseason, but he's talked about Montez Sweat taking that Daron Payne leap and finishing and getting to the quarterback, and that's what he did today. We already know who's getting paid. All Tez has to do is continue doing what he's been doing, and he's gonna get broken off. And so there's no doubt in my mind. I told y'all, of the two, he's the one I foresee getting paid. Doesn't mean Chase won't come in here and wreck shop whenever he gets on the field. But at the end of the day, it's always been Tez's opportunity that's in front of him. Like if they're paying one, if they're not paying both, it's always been Tez's opportunity to get paid, right? It's his opportunity to lose. He'll be the one getting broken off. All he has to do is go out and keep doing what he's been doing and just do it at another level. That's it. Turn it up just a slight notch. And you saw it today. F. Altus, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. F. Altus writes, RIP NHO, Week 1, 2023. I vehemently disagree. If you think Sam stunk today, we're not watching the same game. We're not seeing it the same. If you think Sam Howell stunk today, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to just move on. Brandon Shepard, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Brandon writes, Forbes is him. Out here running routes. I wanted him to pick that one off so bad. I loved it, though. Closing the show like that. I wanted him to pick that one off, though. Put an exclamation point on it. The only thing that would have sucked had he picked it off is we would have lost field position. But, that would have been like instant validation for the young fella. Week 1 pick to close the show. That would have been awesome. But the breakup was just as good. It was 4th down, so it had just the same impact. It would have evened up the turnover battle, and it would have put us, even at 0. 3 giving up, 3 getting 3 back. But we're -1 in the plus-minus category. We can't live like that and expect to win consistently this year. So we're gonna have to clean that shit up and fast. But I love Forbes there making up for it because he gave up an easy 3rd down the possession before, and it was a good route by Hollywood Brown. Hollywood. So. What can you do? But he got it back at the end. I love it. Barrett Downey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, let me swallow this vomit I've been holding all game, but I'll take the dub. It was one of those games, man. You know what? I never doubted us winning this game. I was just disappointed at how things were going. You know, I said in the mob, well, this is not how I envisioned this going. But I told them when we were down after the scoop and score for Arizona, and we were down 13-7. So we're not losing this game. You know, we're going to win this game. But I'm just disappointed in how we're executing and the turnovers and the mistakes that we're making. What it looked like out there, I'm just keep it a buck with you. It looked like two bad football teams playing. Cardinals had over 100 yards in penalties. We had 3 turnovers. We gave up 6 or 7 sacks. We couldn't run the ball consistently. It looked like two bad teams. But look around the league, and I watched other games. Unlike most of you who probably didn't, I watched other games. A lot of teams looked bad today. Okay, it's an epidemic around the league. All right, teams aren't playing their players as much in preseason. You're not as locked in week 1. Week 1 is an extension of the preseason, and you saw it around the league. So, and we fell victim and prey to that. But again, the most important thing is you get the dub. We got that, and I'm unapologetic about it. Ty the Guy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ty the Guy writes, repping the NHO at the game is loud. HTTC. I think I put an extra T in there. HTTC 1-0. It was loud at the game, man. I'm so proud of y'all for going out there and representing. Represent. Y'all were representing today. It rained. It chased some of y'all away, but y'all did not leave. We were not deterred. We saw something yellow come out late in the game. What was that? Something yellow came out. And then the fans came back out. And then it got real loud. And the Cardinals couldn't handle it. It was beautiful. The next step is actually forcing like a false start because they can't hear, or a delay a game because they can't hear. That's the next step. We're getting there. We're learning, right? We're not there yet, but we're learning. We're getting back to that. That was fun. That was nice. You know what it is, man. Appreciate you, Ty the Guy, repping New Howell Order.
New Howell Order.
Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, like, subscribe, and hit that like bell. Y'all know what it is. Appreciate the public service announcement, Wilfredo, who writes, me being the optimist that I am, I'll just say if there was a game to struggle, it was this one. Let's hope that that's the worst performance by the O this season. Hashtag HTTC. It could very well be the worst performance of the season offensively for us. It wouldn't shock me if it was. It's the first game. And there were a lot of things that, weren't conducive to being successful. The weather being one of them as well. Wasn't the greatest day to be out here chucking it around the yard, which could account for some of the drops that we saw from some of the players like Logan Thomas on the first possession of the game. But all in all, give Arizona some credit, man. They were physical. They made moves. Gardeck put a hell of a spin move on Wiley. They got to help him, man. We talked about this shit already. One play was just a breakdown where Sadiq did the right thing. I don't have work. I check my peripheral, and then I go get work. I go help out my tackle. Then Gates looks away for a second, and the dude comes screaming down the B gap. That's on Gates, right? That's not on Sadiq. And Cosme gets hurt again. Like, God damn, Cosme. Bro, week 1? What the F? The Rook had to come in and finish up the game. He was good on that. He actually got out there on the screen. We actually ran a screen that was worth a damn. I thought it was a first down. I thought we got jerked on that spot too, man. I thought that was a good challenge by Rivera. I thought that was a first down. That was some bullshit, if you want me to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Let's hope that that is the worst performance by the O. There were some bright spots, and there were some things that I saw. I said, okay, I like that. We didn't take any deep shots, really, in this game, except the one to Terry that drew the pass interference. So that's hitting yardage, right? That's the touchdown drive early in the game. Sam's not going to get credit for that on the stat sheet, but that's a great throw by Sam. That's a dime. If Terry's not interfered with, that's right there. Boop. Okay? So, you're not going to see that one on the stat sheet, but that helped contribute to that touchdown. That was one of the few deep shots, if not the only one that we took all game long. We got to run the football better. We got to be more consistent with the run game, too. That's going to set up opportunities to go play action fake and take shots down the field. Jay Willard, I'm an optimist just like you, just by the way, Wilfredo. So I think we're going to be fine. Jay Willard, been a member for 2 years. My guy, Jay. Right, so a dub is a dub. Man, the O-line is looking like a big issue. They had some struggles today. And again, Sam did not help them, by standing back there at times too long with the ball. Sometimes were these some long developing routes? Because one of the issues I saw in the preseason where we were running a lot of long developing routes where you're asking the pass protection to hold up for 4 seconds. That's cool against the Ravens 2s and the Bengals 3s. That ain't cool against everybody's 1s, though. Like, we got to get – where's the slants? It's supposed to be a West Coast offense, right? Where the slants at? Where the 5-yard stops and hitches? Where are the swing routes? Like, where's the quick, easy completions to keep you ahead of the sticks? I didn't see enough of those. Too much of Sam dropping back, holding on to the damn ball for 5-6 seconds, and then getting sacked. I bet you when I go back and I watch the film, and we'll do that on Tuesday for the mob members who are gold members, we'll do that on Tuesday. I bet you when we go back, a lot of these sacks probably ain't. Some of them, like the Wiley forced fumble, that's on Wiley. He just spun on his ass. Sam's got to put that shit away. That's a good play. The one where the dude falls down and hits Sam at his knees, he just ran over Charles Leno, right? Like that's on the offensive line. The sack that happened when Sadiq ended up going out to help Charles Leno, and Gates looks away for a second, and when he looks back, the guy's already running by him. That's just a breakdown on the offensive line, and they just got to be better there, right? That can't happen. That was a great job by that defensive lineman of essentially taking advantage of Gates looking away for a second and then zooming right by him. But Sam ran out of bounds on a sack, right? You'll see the numbers, and it'll look really bad. Sam ran out of bounds on a loss of 1. You can't do that. Throw that ball away, bro. You can't take a sack there. The offensive line they got to clean some shit up. They definitely got to clean some shit up. He says, D stepped up in the second half and took over the game. Damn sure did. I mean, without it, we don't win. Facts. Big time facts. And Sam will be fine, needs time. Exactly. I thought Sam was okay. Far from the start I was looking to get off to, but I thought he stood in there, stood tall in the pocket. He was not scaried. He was not afraid, despite getting hit and getting sacked and having the turnovers. He wasn't afraid. And, that run for the touchdown, that's huge. Because what did I tell y'all? Touchdowns win games. Field goals do not. Field goals don't win games. Touchdowns do. If one of those possessions is a field goal, we probably don't win this game. Simple as that. Got to score in the red zone. And we did. Other than that last possession when they bitched up on us, we were 2 of 3 in the red zone today. And the only reason we weren't 3 of 3 is because I think they got scared and didn't want to put the ball in Sam's hands. And I don't like that shit. We won the game, so it is what it is. But moving forward, I need you to be aggressive, just like you were aggressive before half. Sam goes out and fumbles, and Mark Schlereth was talking that shit, right? That conservative, scared-ass bullshit. Scared money don't make money. Well, after seeing what I just saw and how this half has gone with the turnovers, I just go ahead and take a knee and head to half. F that shit. Let Sam cook. And you know what he did? He cooked up a field goal meal before the half. F that. Be aggressive. And we needed every single damn point. I wanted them to keep that same mentality. Be aggressive. Put your foot on their damn neck. The defense is doing it. Let the offense do it too. Nah, we're going to go ahead and be conservative and let the defense finish this thing on out. And that's cool, but that ain't what we trying to be. That ain't the message we trying to send. That sent same old C's, same old C's, same old Commanders energy is what that sent to me. Nah, I'm looking to goddamn crush your larynx. That's the energy that I was trying to project in this game. Nah, we ain't looking to kick a field goal. We're looking to go up 8. We weren't on the same page. They had other plans. Elf Life, Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I've only been watching football for 3 years, so I never got to experience a franchise QB in Washington. The closest thing I know to that is TH4. Whew. Well, it's a hell of an experience. I really do believe Sam will be that guy, as do I. So you really don't have a lot of experience to pick from. So Sam looks the part. He definitely looks the part. So, it's not going, like, so many people want this to just be a linear path to success. Man, this shit is like a winding road, Every day is a winding road. Sometimes we just got to get a little closer, right? We got to get a little closer to Sam. Y'all backing up. Some of y'all bitched up on me today. I saw some of y'all showing y'all damn true colors. Some shit went sideways a little bit, and you backed up off of Sam. Like my girl, Miss Perry, said, some of y'all left Sam's club. Give me your damn membership. You can't come back in if you leaving that damn quick. Give me your damn membership. And when you try to come back in, I'm be like, where your card at? Oh, man. I think they took it from me. Damn right. Go back to your damn vehicle. Hell wrong with y'all. So disappointed in some of y'all. Rocky D. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, how you feel about Mr. Crowder now? Look, man, I just feel blessed that he didn't drop anything. He scared the living daylights out of me on one return when he caught that bitch inside the 10. I was like, no, Jameson, no. He catches it, he makes the dude miss, and he's juking and shit, and the dude he made miss is coming from behind like, Jameson, put that shit away. Put that shit away. And he just turned at the last second when the dude came and stripped that bitch. Woo! 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 I'm like, don't do that again. Okay? You had a flashback to like 2016. Don't do that again. But he was good today, man. He fielded everything. No issues. Hey, look, that doesn't mean it'll be the same thing next week. Where's Dax Mill? That's what I'm asking. Where's Dax? Hope the groin's better next week. But, hey, he did his job today. You got no complaints out of me. Frankie, yo. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, high snap, low snap. If we do not sort this cheese crap out, I'm a snap. I told y'all in the preseason, man, this cheese shit is alarming. Did I not tell you? He dribbled one back. Boy, Tress is the man. He's the real MVP. He dribbled one back to Tress, and he picked that bitch up quick. And Joey was able to just keep his same stride. Like, it's almost to the point now where they're getting used to that shit. And Joey don't even break stride when he see that bitch on the ground. He just keep running and go right through that thing and stroke it. Like, bro, what are we doing, Cheese? What are we doing? Do I have to call some long snappers on Tuesday? They're not going to do that. But he better get his shit together. Then the last one, Tress had to leave his knee for a second just to go up and bring it down. Like, bro, what are we doing? I'd rather it be up there than down here, though, right? I'd rather it be up where Tress can see it and catch it and bring it down than it on the ground, especially on a wet day. We here, like I said, we can't afford to leave any points out on the field. As you can see today, we're not good enough to do that yet. This cheese shit could be an issue. Let's hope it's not. But I'm alarmed. I'm alarmed. Don't know about you. I'm alarmed. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, celebrate. A dub's a dub, but damn. Called 3 field goals, but Adam gave them that free TD. Bench Sadiq, AG, Bates. Forbes had that pick at the end. Taz is him. So, let's pick this thing apart piece by piece. Bench Sadiq, AG, and Bates. For what? Mistakes are going to happen. I think some of y'all expect perfection in week 1 at that. Yeah, right. Bates had, a couple of penalties. One of them was garbage. That offensive passive, he didn't do anything. He ran straight and turned around. That's how you're supposed to do it. Are you kidding me? Yeah, right. That wasn't a flag. Now, the holding, okay, it was a hold, but I thought that was ticky-tack, to be honest with you. But it was a hold. I mean, it was a legit hold. By the letter of the law, those happen on every single play. So if you want to throw it, throw it. But Bates is fine. Like, we're not going to – and Sadiq was fine today. Unless I go back and I watch and I come back and say, man, Sadiq struggled. Sadiq was fine. And he was not an issue today. I don't really know where the Sadiq hate is coming from. And Antonio Gibson, he's got to hold on to the ball. That's always been his Achilles heel. And he didn't fumble at all last year. Coincidentally enough, after he fumbled in the preseason and had his job taken, he didn't fumble once last year, and then he fumbles in week 1. But I wanted the real question is, let's remove AG from the equation for a second and just focus on why was he getting so many touches in the first half? Why was he our primary running back and rock toter? Why was that the case? That's the real question I have is, where the hell is Brian Robinson? I don't know. These are the things that I struggle with. And yes, Tez is him. And Forbes had that pick at the end. It hit him on the back hip. He actually ran the route so damn good that he overran the football because it hit him on his back hip. But I just love the fact that the young fella was there. Lock him up. Hack up. Sip. Get him out of here. All right. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Ethan writes, how is your heart rate, Louie? You know what? It wasn't as bad. My nerves were bad. My heart rate was pretty even keel. I wasn't like, my shit wasn't beating crazy. But I think the moment that my heart probably raced the most was the sack by Tez. I jumped out of my chair. I was pretty even keel today, actually, sitting at my computer, watching the game, going through the other games. And I was pretty chill because you know what? You know what it was? It was Arizona. And I'm going to be honest with you. I should be ashamed of myself because I looked at Arizona. I said, not today. You're not beating us. You are ass-tastic. I'm sorry. You don't scare me. Even when they were pulling out shit out of their ass and little trick plays here and Dobbs was completing passes there. I was like, the turnovers, even when their defense, they was hitting. They was out there making shit, happen. I never was afraid because I'm like, it's Arizona. We're not losing this game. I'm not getting eliminated from my survivor pool in week 1. This shit is not happening. I was never afraid. But was I a little antsy? Like, yo, hey, let's not get to the fourth quarter and be lifeless here. We needed that Tez play. I jumped out of my damn seat when he did that. That's probably when my heart raced the most, was when Tez. Because now, we got to get 7 off of this. We can't settle for a field goal off of this. This got to be the game winner right here. And I'm glad that Sam was able to run that thing in there, because if he didn't, and we settled for a field goal, I don't know if we win the game or not, to be honest with you. That's real talk. That's real spill. But glad we didn't have to find out. Heart rate pretty solid. My nerves were bad, which is why I'm taking a little bit of the edge off. My nerves, they were bad. My hands were they weren't sweaty. My hands didn't get sweaty today. But my shit was fidgety. I had this shit going on. Typical Washington BS. We can't handle the pressure, both blitz and spotlight. By the way, want to re-up my mob, but money is tight right now. Looking for a full-time job. It's cold out here, bro. You don't have to apologize for that, man. It's definitely cold out on those streets, man. But you'll find something. Trust me. It's something out there for you, bro. Keep looking. The blitz was problematic. And Dan Orlovsky said this, and I agreed with him when he said it. Until we prove that we can block this shit or we have answers to the blitz, that's what we're going to see with Sam Howell. And they came after him today. And the first blitz that he saw, he did a good job of dumping it down to the running back. They didn't get a first down, but he read it, he saw it, and got it to the right guy. And we just had too far to go, and he didn't make anybody miss. But there was one where you could tell there was a little bit of panic, and it got batted down, and we looked ill-prepared. So we got to clean that shit up. It's going to continue to be an issue until we prove to people Nah, we good over here. You can blitz if you want, but Jahan gonna catch this slant, or Terry gonna catch this slant, or Curtis gonna catch this slant, and somebody gonna murk on you. We gotta hurt somebody before they start saying, all right, hey, we gotta bad back a little bit. Or it's gonna keep coming. Zoe Life, no life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes 3 drop interceptions? Props to the Cardinals D. More B-Rob. I don't know where you get 3 drop picks from. I remember one. Like, there was one before half where the dude jumped the route. He never, ever had a chance to even get his second hand around. The announcer like, oh, that was almost picked off. No, it wasn't. That was a good break on the ball by the safety, but he got one hand in there and he barely knocked it away. Let's not play that game. All right. Now, there was one where you go, whew, the one where he was behind the Terry could have been picked if the dude was looking. He wasn't, right? That he just wasn't looking. He wasn't expecting the ball to literally damn near hit him. I think Terry stuck his paw out there, though, and it didn't actually hit him. Terry, deflected it, but that's dangerous. And there definitely was one that the defender did get both hands on and probably should have picked it off. And then the screen, that wasn't his fault. That shit went right through B-Rob's hands. Right into the hand of the defender, the diving defender, and he just dropped it. Like, shout out to the Cardinals, like you said, for not taking advantage of some of those opportunities. Because if they catch that screen, if the game over, we lost. Because at that time it was still 16-10. You give up a pick right there. That's inside the 15-yard line. I don't know if the defense is able to get the stop and force a field goal or not, but even putting them in that position and asking them to do that, that's a tall ask. That's a tough ask of a defense that's been outstanding all day. I'd venture to say that the Cardinals had way more offensive snaps than us. It felt like it. It might, and I'm going to go look right now, and it might be they had 7 more snaps than us. It felt like they had like 14 or 15 more snaps than us on offense in this game. 7. What did I say? Shit, we had 7 more plays than they did. And I guess that came at the end when we were running the clock out and things of that nature. But it felt like they had the ball a lot. Our defense was tired. But like you said, props to the Cardinals D. Not just for dropping the ball, but they came out and they played ball. They gave their team a chance. Brandon Shepard, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. My guy Brandon writes, Gibby, like I knew I shouldn't have had that popcorn. First of all, it's not Gibby. It's AG, Antonio, Tones, or Antonio Gibson. Or Gibson. Whatever you want to call it, it's not Gibby. A lot of y'all was like, look, he fumbling, so he Gibby. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to tell y'all what y'all can and can't say. I'm just telling y'all what the man said. His name is not Gibby. Okay. He can't fumble the ball. It's that simple. And even on the kickoff return that he had, I was like, bro, you better hold on to that bitch. So, after you see that, now your mind starts racing, and now you're like, hey, just take the 25 yard. I don't even need you to bring it out at this point. But anyway, Drinkable Measy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, it's only Sam's second start. I ain't tripping. Y'all are. I ain't tripping. And anybody that is tripping, let them trip, man. Let them trip. And if they fall and they scrape their knee, they cut up their hand, that's on them. But I'm good over here. Like, I didn't go into this season expecting this thing to be a straight path to success. I knew there were going to be games like this. I was hoping that it wouldn't be week 1, that, were some bumps in the road, maybe week 2 or week 3. But I wanted them to come out the gate, clean performance. But this was far from a clean performance by the entire offense, and that includes EB, who I thought was a little too Sam happy at the beginning of this game. Like, there were times where I'm like, where's the run game? We just had an entire possession of 6 or 7 plays, and we didn't run it once. And it's pouring down raining. Explain yourself. There were times where I asked the mob, did we run it that possession? They were like, nope. Why? Sam had like 23 or 24 attempts in the first half. I was like, he's well on his way to 40. If not for, it felt like the Cardinals had the football. Let's see time of possession. Felt like they had the ball in the second half. We did it. That's what it felt like. Time of possession, which, we dominated time of possession last season. We were one of the best in the league at time of possession. We won time of possession, which, again, it didn't feel like it, but we won time of possession by 3 minutes in the game. Didn't feel like it. Felt like they had the ball in the second half, which is why the defense at times looked a little tired and gassed. But at times with how the offense went, I was just disappointed at how things were going and the balance or lack thereof. It straightened itself out at the end because we were leading, and then they just kind of went solely to the run game, kind of took the ball out of Sam's hands for the most part, and strictly went to the run game, and that's what balanced it out. I mean, how many passes to runs did we have in this game? Let's see what the count ended up being. We had 31 passing attempts to 28 rushing attempts. So yeah, it ended up being really balanced, but because we really primarily ran the football on the last 2 possessions of the game. So I'd like to see that be a little bit better at the beginning, because I think in the first half, Sam had like 24 pass attempts straight up. I remember saying Sam's well on his way to 40 pass attempts. He had 30 at the end of the third quarter, and he only ended up, I think he only threw it once in the fourth quarter, once or twice. Zoe Life, No Life. Stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Welcome aboard. So glad to have you. Y'all know what it is. Welcome Zoe Life, No Life to the squad. Open arms. Show that love and support, man. Show that love and support. We won today. All right. Embrace your fellow man. Okay. Celebrate. Zoe Life, No Life. Welcome to the squad. Glad to have you. HTTR for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes. I'll say it again. A win's a win in the National Football League. I'm going to put the little extra sauce on it for you. That's what it's about. Getting the dub. Getting the dubski. All right. It was not pretty. It was gritty. And most importantly, it was a dubski. We'll take it all day, every day, twice on Sundays. All right. AJ Meehan. Stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Glad to have you on board, Mob. Y'all know what to do. Show AJ some love. Welcome him with open arms and let him know what it feels like to be a member of the MOBB. AJ Meehan, welcome to the squad. Happy to have you. Jay Coleman, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, I have no doubt in my mind that Sam will play much better. Every game will not be pretty. What matters is that we finish with a dub. What did EB say, and what does he always say? Collectively, we've got to find a way to drag our asses across the finish line. That's what we did today, and that's exactly how he described it. Collectively, find a way to drag our asses across the finish line, and that's what we did. I'd like to drag our asses across the finish line a little bit faster and a little bit further ahead of the opponent, but as long as we're first and we break that tape before the opponent, all that matters. And that's what we did. And so I'm not complaining. Am I disappointed? Sure. But I am not, I repeat, not complaining about getting the dub at all. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB once again. Sam still undefeated. NHO, Sam equals the truth. He's still undefeated. He's still 2-0 as a starter in this league. So say what you want. But Sam's 2-0. All right. And we're going to ride with that. We're going to keep rocking with that. Keep the myth alive. We 2-0 over here, baby. 1-0 on the season. Dylan Hinton, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Dylan writes, what a roller coaster. I'll take it. I told you it's going to be a fun year. I remember saying, I think we were in the third quarter of this game, and I said, this is not fun. I'm not enjoying myself right now. That was not fun. The first, I'll say 39, maybe 40 minutes of this game, not fun at all. After Montez's sack, I really started enjoying myself. It was not fun for the first 40 minutes of this game. Down 16-10, offense struggling. It's raining. It's nasty out. We've turned it over 3 times. It was not fun. But then, the defense stepped up, and it was funny. Right before the defense got the first turnover, I said in the MOBB chat, all right, D, where ours at? I'm ready for y'all to step up and create a turnover. Where ours at? Because I said we getting 1 or 2 off of Dobbs. And sure enough, Tez gets the sack, and it changed everything. Uncle Mo got up, strolled across the field, sat down. I was like, yo, can I get you something? He was like, nah, I think I'll just sit here because I don't really know if I trust y'all. I'm good. I'll put my feet up, though, but I don't want anything to eat or drink. So he never actually got as comfortable as I wanted him to, but he did kick his feet up. That was good. I'll definitely take it. Benjamin Slade, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Benjamin writes, why didn't we extend Sweat again? Because they wanted him to prove it. You know, they wanted him to show that he could do it. There's no rush. He's not going anywhere. They'll do him just like they did Duran. If they can't reach a deal with him before the start of free agency, they will slap the franchise tag on him, and they will work something out with him. Like, he's going to be here. There's no doubt in my mind. But they wanted to see it again. I don't blame them. Anthony Shannon, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Howell is a Jag, like I knew he was from the beginning. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Commander Wow, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, a win is a win, but my heart is still racing. Hashtag HTTC. That's how it be sometimes. That's how it be a lot of times with this team. Let me keep it a buck. All right. That's how it is a lot of times with this team. But like you said, a win's a win in the National Football League. I'll take them any way I can get them. This thing could have been 9-7. And I would have been complaining, but I would have still been very satisfied with the fact that we got 1 in the left-hand column to kick off the season. Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, LT, this is a bad game for everyone. Needed to get out of our system, or is it indicative of us being an average/growing team? I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you, because like I said, you look across the league, it was a lot of sloppy play, man. And the weather didn't help, but that's no excuse. The 3 turnovers weren't weather impacted, right? Those weren't, oh my God, ball went through somebody's hands and got picked off. Ball got deflected and picked off. Sam got hit, careless with the rock, fumbled, and it got scooped up. And Antonio Gibson got the ball punched out. It was a great play by the defender to come in there and punch that bitch out, which we don't do. We don't go punching at the ball, right? So you got to give credit where credit is due. They made plays. Like, that's sloppy on our part to turn it over 3 times. I thought EB could be better as a play caller, but that was his first game as the true play caller, as the guy. Logan Thomas looked out of sorts for much of the game. You know, we had penalties that hurt us, even though some of them I thought were bad calls. Like the John Bate, that's a big 15-yard gain to Logan Thomas. We are out by midfield. And instead, you call bogus-ass OPI, and now you're backed up 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20 at your own, 21-yard line or some shit, 17-yard line. Like, that's a massive difference, right? Going close to midfield and back inside your own 20. Like I said, it was sloppy all the way around. Outside of the defense. And they had their moments too where they gave up some stuff, but it was never anything egregious. Nothing over the top, nothing explosive. Josh Dobbs averaged 4.4 yards a pass. Yeah, we did what we needed to do defensively. It wasn't a great game by any stretch of the imagination. Lots to clean up. But at the end of the day, your objective is to find a way to win. And in this league, rarely is it going to be pretty every week. I'm glad we played Arizona week 1. I can tell you that much. Had we played somebody else, had we played Denver or Buffalo or somebody, we wouldn't have won this game. So be thankful that it was Arizona and not anybody else on the schedule this year, because we probably don't win this game. AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. AJ writes, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, one of the newest members of the MOBB, who writes, Howell looked good to me. O-line still needs work. Done with Logan. Start Turner now. And certainly done with Gibson. Forbes looked great. Cheers to 1 and 0. Cheers. Howell looked average today. He was okay. I thought he did some good things. Then he did some not so good things. It was average. It's what I expect from time to time from him. I didn't expect that today per se, but maybe I should have, being that it's the first game. It's week 1, and there's a lot of things that can transpire. And then again, the weather didn't help. So all in all, I love the fact that he was able to get the ball to the receivers. Terry, I think, had at least 3 catches in this game. Let me see. I know Jahan probably led all receivers with like 5 catches. Let's take a look and see though. Curtis had 5. Jahan had 5. Logan had 4. Terry had 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different guys touched the rock. And Terry averaged 15.5 yards per catch. So, that's good. And, for the most part, guys caught the football when it came in their general direction. But I don't know and they did credit Tez with a sack and a half. And I figured they would give somebody else the other half. Abdullah Anderson got the other half. And speaking of Abdullah Anderson, he played well today. How about that? Abdullah Anderson, this is a guy they signed in free agency, didn't make the team initially. They cut him, and then they brought him back after the injury and the IR designation for Darian Mathis. And Abdullah Anderson actually played well today. Hey, how about that? Sam was average, but he did enough to help us win. He did enough to help us win the game. And he'll be better. He'll be better. Offensive line definitely still needs some work, but they're a work in progress, just like Sam is, just like the offense is as a whole. Done with Logan. It's too early to be done with Logan. It wasn't a great game. Remember, the man hasn't, played in organized football in a while now. Okay. And so he's an older guy, dealt with an injury all camp for the most part, missed pretty much all of camp and all of the preseason. And so, yeah, he looked a little rusty. All right. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I would like to see more of Cole Turner, however, though. 1/6 Devil Doc. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, ugly win, but we'll take it. Need to clean up those turnovers for sure. This isn't even a close game without them. Literally 10 Arizona Cardinals points out of their 16 came off of turnovers, like directly from turnovers. One they picked up and scored off of, and the other, I don't think they even got a first down off of the turnover. They just were already in field goal range. Like literally, we gave them 10 points. You would feel a lot different if we won this game 20-6, but we didn't. We won it 20-16. And it's because we turned the ball over. So, yeah, clean up the damn turnovers. MVPs are 90, and the D in general, 14 looked pretty good for the most part. I thought he did some good things. Thought he was solid. Like I said, he was average. But he was, when I say average, he was closer to a C+ than a C-. Closer to a C+ than a C-. He could potentially even sneak into the B- range, but because of what he did in the red zone. That's where the game is won and lost. That's where the game is won and lost. What he did in the 2-minute drill, yeah, he fumbled. That's huge. But he came right back, shook it off. And you know what kind of mental toughness it takes to shake off a mistake like that and turn around and get us into field goal range before the half? And he was huge. In the red zone and getting us into scoring position. So there were some really good things that he did. There were some not so good things, and there's a lot of room for improvement. 90 was definitely, along with 90 was the star of the defense, but the defense as a whole was really good. Same with special teams, minus cheese. All right. Red Wing 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Red Wing 01 writes, got to give Forbes some love. He came in clutch. Absolutely. We talked about it already. That pass, that PBU at the end was exactly what the doctor ordered. I wanted to pick right there to kind of put the exclamation point on it, but I'll take the PBU on a 4th down. It's all the same. And, big play there to pretty much put the game on ice and get us the dub. Good to see the young fella getting out there making a play in his first NFL game, man. Love to see it. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Elf Life writes, Kenny Pickett some buns. Sam is the best QB from 2022. I mean, Kenny was horrible today. I was so disappointed. I picked Pittsburgh to win, thinking they were going to make some noise, and they jumped. And right away, I could see I made a mistake. It didn't take me but 2 possessions to realize, I made a mistake. They are dominating Kenny Pickett. He's scared. He got to the top of his drop, and then he started panicking and running around, looking for someone to throw the ball to, and ran into a sack. Yeah, I was like, okay, we made a mistake here. So Kenny is not better than Sam. I know Desmond Ridder isn't better than Sam. And I expect Sam to prove it over time that he's the best quarterback from that draft class. But we'll see. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Wilfredo. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, how detractors taking victory laps after 1 half in week 1 is so annoying. Curl deserves an extension, but if he doesn't make those interceptions, it's not going to be for the money he wants. Hashtag 1-0, hashtag HTTC. He had a chance at a pick. That was a difficult pick that he would have made down towards the end zone. That he jumped the route, he saw it, he read it, and he had an opportunity. You want that bread, right? You want that contract up there, 17, 18 million. Got to make those plays, but he was everywhere. He deserves to be paid. What he does, and we've talked about this in the past, doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, man. But he's always in the right place at the right time. He's a sure tackler. We saw that again today. He led the team in tackles today with 10. And so you see the impact of Cam Curl. So he was good again today, and he's going to get paid. The question is, how much is he going to get paid? We'll see. He's going to have to make those plays. Ricky D. Hustle, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ricky D. Hustle writes, what up, Lou? O-line is what we thought they were. And you almost jinxed us with the turnover talk on the on LTN exclusives. But we 1-0 on to Denver next week, 2-0 in the NHO era. Look, man, turnovers are a part of the game, and you don't want them to be a part that ultimately hurts you. But that I told you guys, that's the only way we're going to lose to Arizona. They're not better than us, and you saw that today. They're not even remotely close to us in terms of talent. Like, offensively, they stink. And let's keep it a buck. And the defense did to them what they were supposed to do, only surrendering 6 points. But ultimately, turnovers are the great equalizer. And anybody can get beat if you turn it over. We saw Kansas City. Why did they lose that game? They threw a pick 6. You can't turn the ball over and directly attribute to another team scoring points and expect to win. We got lucky, okay? That we were playing Arizona instead of playing a better team, right? You cannot do what we did today and expect to win. We have to be better, and we will. We will. If you want to pin the turnover talk on me, fine. Look, mistakes were made. But I'm going to talk about turnovers every week because they're a part of the game. And the only way we were going to lose, and I knew that, was if we turned it over, and that's how we almost lost this game. Red Wing 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I'm beating a dead horse here, but the O-line got to straighten up, especially Wiley. Not just for Sam's sake, but for our RBs can average more than 4 yards per carry. Sam was up and down, offense pretty vanilla. I didn't love the game plan today. I thought it was a little bit too heavy on the passing side of things. I thought that there wasn't enough quick passes. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves with Scott Turner was there weren't enough quick passes to get our quarterbacks into a rhythm early in the game. So you get into this pseudo West Coast offense that EB is supposed to be bringing over here from Kansas City, And you're supposed to see a lot of quick passes. You're supposed to see the ball leave the quarterback's hand. What have we heard all offseason? Get the ball into the hands of playmakers. Well, we got playmakers, so we want to get them the ball quickly. We didn't see that. There was a lot of deep drops, a lot of Sam holding on to the ball. They were squatting on a lot of shit underneath, which means they didn't respect our ability to stretch the field vertically. There was a lot that fundamentally I thought didn't go right in this game. And I think some of it starts with the play calling not being more balanced. The offensive line did not do a great job of opening up holes in the run game. They didn't do a good enough job protecting. Maybe Sam didn't diagnose some things, and film will tell us if Sam struggled in that department. Maybe he held on to the ball with guys open and he just didn't see it. And because one of the things he did, well in the preseason was he moved through his progressions rather quickly. He didn't hold on to the ball. If the front side was gone, he got to the backside quickly and got the ball out of his hands. I don't know if he was seeing it well today or not. Again, I still think he had a C word. I'm not going to say it, but after that hit, he never really looked like he was all the way, a lot of squinting of the eyes, a lot of I'm here, but I'm really not here. He passed the test, so he got back in the game. Let's hope it's nothing, but I wouldn't be shocked if he reports some symptoms tomorrow, and by the time we get to Wednesday, he's out, right? I hope that ain't the case, right? But he got walloped, man. That was some dirty shit is what it was. And I wanted somebody to get a 15-yard penalty behind that. Go scoop his bitch ass. You can't be hitting our quarterback like that. Like I said, they came out and they were physical. They were more physical than us. That's when Nick Gates was supposed to come over and mollywop somebody's ass. That's when you get into that shit. Don't let them hit your quarterback like that. I'm glad they squatted up. But somebody was supposed to get dumped on their skull after that. That was some bullshit. Joseph's Journey. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joseph's Journey writes, tired of the front office saying the O-line is fine. I think our first round pick this year in the draft, I honestly believe it's going to be a tackle. I truly believe that they're going to. I think this is Charles Leno's last year. And I wouldn't be shocked if our first two picks are offensive linemen. But I definitely believe the first pick of the draft in 2024 is going to be an offensive lineman for us. I think it's going to be a tackle in particular. And I wouldn't be shocked if they went to the well multiple times, because if Cosme can't stay healthy and he got banged up, and I don't know the severity of it, his shoe could have come off for all I know. But the likelihood is he got banged up, and because that's what Sam Cosme does. And we'll see what happens, with the rest of this line as the season progresses. But they're going to have to invest in the offensive line. We haven't spent a first-round pick on an offensive lineman since Brandon Sheriff. What was that, 15, 14? At some point, you gotta start investing in one of the most important positions on your football team. You found the quarterback. I'm convinced of that. You found the quarterback. Now you got to protect him. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB video channel rights. The price of Montez just went up. Look, they already knew that they will have you pay to play, right? You want to let him play, you're gonna pay more if he does what he's supposed to do. Just like with with Deron, and Ron said it over and over again. The young man did what we asked him to do. He went out and he had the kind of season we were looking for him to have, and we knew it was going to cost us a little bit more, but we were fine with paying him. He deserved it. Same thing with Tez. He goes out there and does what he did today, he'll get exactly what's coming to him. Price definitely going to go up as the season progresses. Red Wing 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? The D-line stepped up huge. The linebackers looked competent. They did. Jamin made some plays early. I thought Cody Barton was always around the ball. He didn't make any plays, but he was always around the ball. The secondary, especially Kendall, was locked down. Kendall was outstanding today. But we need Chase if we want to win more than 7. I think I agree with that. Or we need somebody on that other side that is not just a placeholder. And I thought there were times where Casey made a play. Casey got in the backfield and made us tackle for like a 4 or 5 yard loss, and he got up and he went like this. Nah, not on my watch. James Smith-Williams got in there on that play where him and Jonathan Allen blew up that little, I don't know what the hell that was, like a read option exchange with Josh Dobbs, and they both got in there and tackled him for like a 4 yard loss. And, they did some good things, but Chase is so impactful. Even if he's not getting to the quarterback, he's much better in the run game. He's much better at sniffing out things, getting his hands up. And like there was one play they threw it to the tight end and it actually had a legal man downfield. So it brought it back. But, you got two guys coming up the field. One of y'all need to either bump that tight end, get a piece of him, or just run with him and take that away. Somebody got to be smart. I don't need both of y'all chasing the quarterback. And in that instance, Chase would have either went after that tight end and allowed the defensive tackle to go chase the quarterback, or he would have just shot after the quarterback and made it a much tougher throw for Josh Dobbs. As soon as he turned around, Chase would have been in his face and might have even batted it up in the air. But I think you're right. In order for us to really get to that level that we want to be as a defense, we're going to need Chase. I think that's accurate. CGM87, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. CGM87 writes, "Sup, Lou? A dub's a dub. Lots of concerns. Facts. Wiley makes Morgan Moses look Hall of Fame like a Hall of Famer, and we paid him ridiculous money. We didn't pay him ridiculous money. I told y'all before the season started, when we got Andrew Wiley, I told y'all, hey, understand you get what you pay for. We went to the bargain bin. You just paid $21 million for a starting tackle. What did you expect to get? Okay? I've already been telling y'all, we got to chip. We got to double. We got to help him. He can't be by himself. You saw it again today. They're going to have to chip. Somebody spins inside, that guard's going to have to be waiting on him, or a running back's going to have to be in it. They're going to have to help his ass, though. I didn't like the holding call that they called on him. I didn't think that was – he took the dude – and anytime, and Chris Cooley used to say this all the time, anytime a lineman takes a guy and slams him on the ground, officials assume it's holding and throw the flag. He didn't hold on that play. He took the dude and he threw him on the ground. That was not a holding penalty, but whatever. EB went to tight end. He said EB went tight end happy with Logan, but still an upgrade from Scott. D-balled out and won the game. Yeah, Logan, I think he had the most targets of anybody in the game. I think he had 8 and led all receivers with 8 targets. Let me check and see. But I feel like that's accurate. Logan Thomas led the team with 8 targets. Jahan was second with 7, Curtis with 5, and Terry had 4. And Cole Turner had 2. So 10 targets total for the tight end position, which I don't have a problem with. But, I want to see our receivers get more work. Those are the guys that need to be touching it more, not the tight ends. But anyway, I digress. Luke Butts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Luke writes, Tez and Curl after the bag. Facts. And I don't see any way in which they don't get to it. If they continue to play the way that they did today, I don't see any way that they don't get to it. So we'll see. I mean, this was just week 1, but that's a hell of a first impression. Love to see it. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. My guy E says, can we appreciate that Allen clothesline sack? I was nervous. I was like, bro, they could have called him for hitting the quarterback in the head because when he first swung around, he bopped him in his dome piece. But it was brief, and then he ended up grabbing him, across the collarbone and getting him down on the ground. That was a hell of a play, man, is what that was. That's a Herculean effort to spin, know that the dude's behind you, reach back, get a piece, and get him on the ground. How about the celebration afterwards? Normally we get the little kiss. He said, nah, I'm going to spin this bitch around and chop wood on their ass. Okay, I'm with it. Benjamin Slade, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, our long snapper is becoming an issue. Yes, he is. Something worth noting and something to keep an eye on as we continue to go through this season. I would not be shocked if he doesn't make it out of the season. I would not be shocked. They're going to try to ride it out with him. They drafted him. Anytime you spend a draft pick on a long snapper, that dude's supposed to be on your team for the next 15 to 20 years. All right. definitely supposed to make it through the first contract. And this is a position we should never, ever be talking about the long snapper after a game. Ever. Never. He should never come up. He should be invisible. The fact that that's the second super chat that has mentioned the long snapper, maybe the third, is a problem. If he does not correct this, then we have a problem. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Elf Life writes, Joey B worth every penny of that deal. I'm assuming you're talking about Joey Bosa. I didn't watch a lot of that game. After the beginning, I watched the first 3 possessions, and by the first 3 possessions, I could already tell that game was over. So I didn't need to come back. They had Kenny Pickett as scared as a bitch. So at that point, I was just, okay, I don't need to go back there. New Orleans, Tennessee's a much better game. Minnesota, how about Minnesota getting upset at home by Tampa? I'm telling you, it was sloppy. If you look across the league, it was sloppy across the league. Like, I know everybody wants to be hard on our team, and rightfully so, because everybody else didn't play Arizona. But Minnesota lost to Tampa Bay at home. A lot of people looked at Tampa Bay as being very similar to Arizona in terms of not being good this season. So, it was a lot of bad football today. We weren't the only ones. I'm assuming Bosa dominated today, but that's normal for him. So I'm not shocked by it. Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. My guy Twin D writes, LOL. I felt so much better once we got to 20. 17 is the magic number for me either way until they change my way of thinking. Yeah, I felt really confident that the Cardinals weren't going to score another touchdown in the game because they hadn't scored on offense. And I didn't see their offense unless we had like a total breakdown in our coverage and or some missed tackles or something. There was no way that they were scoring a touchdown to me today. So in my mind, it was never an issue of are they going to outscore us? It's just, can we stop making mistakes and providing them with opportunities to score? And to your point, I didn't think 17 would be enough. I wasn't comfortable at 17. I thought the Cardinals could get lucky and get into field goal range. So once Tez forced that second fumble and we recovered and we got the field goal, I felt, because I didn't think they were going to score a touchdown. So I felt, and that's why they did what they did, going super conservative at the end, because they knew that the Cardinals couldn't score a touchdown on our defense. That was a lack of respect for their offense, and they had every right to disrespect the Cardinals' offense. That said, I didn't like the fact that we didn't show, the trust that you're looking for in your own offense. But they're in their mind, look, let's just get out of here with the dub. We'll fix some things. We'll come back and we'll try it again next week. But let's not get too cute, mess around. Sam takes a bad sack. Now Sly, instead of kicking a 33-yard kick, is kicking it from 45, and all of a sudden he misses, right? Nah, let's not do that. And so I get what they were thinking. I don't love it, but I understand it. 20 made me feel a lot more comfortable as well. Court Casino, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Big Lou, Court Casino, says, big dub at the crib. They sleeping on us. We never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. You know what it is. I'll tell you this. This isn't going to wake anybody up. I like what you did there with the Nas, though. And I think I've already dropped a couple of Nas-isms from Illmatic already today on the show. But that's a classic line right there. But we ain't waking nobody up with our performance today. If they were asleep, they just hit the snooze button on our ass. So this isn't going to wake anybody up. But I'm fine with that. I'm looking to wake people up, but winning is the most important thing. And if they don't wake up until week 12 or 13 and you look up and we're 7-3, I'm fine with that. We just got to keep finding ways to win. While we're ironing some of these wrinkles out, keep finding ways to win. Wasn't pretty today. I'm not proud of the performance by any stretch of the imagination from the offense, But I love what the defense did today. I love what the special teams did today. And if you can win 2 out of the 3 phases of the game, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And the offense was better than Arizona's offense. Even though we turned it over a bunch, we were better than their offense. So Derek B, been a member for 24 months. My guy, Derek B, salutes, right? Got the dub, not giving it back. 14, 82, 24 O-line, thumbs down. I can't necessarily disagree with you, although 14 I don't think is in the thumbs down category. I put him here, sideways thumb, right? I don't think he's down, right? But that turnover was a thumbs down, but then he made up for it in the red zone. He made up for it, 2-minute drill, right? So I think you guys are being a little hard on Sam. I don't know what you guys are expecting from a guy making his second career NFL start behind an offensive line that isn't great. I don't really know what you guys are expecting. But anyway, HTTR for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Reeves was electric. Love to see it. He was hyped on every single special teams play. He was down. It seemed like he made just about every single special teams tackle. And every time he made one, he got up and he got the crowd amped, and he was out there doing all kinds of shit. I mean, he was in his bag today, but that's why he's all pro Revo. I mean, are you surprised? I'm not. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, that stadium was crazy loud today. Felt good to get the win, but we need to do so much better on O. Absolutely. D held it down as expected, only giving up 9 points on the Denver. Hashtag HTTC. The stadium was electric, man. I mean, you could feel it through the television. Like, the energy that they were giving off was outstanding. We're back, man. And I know it wasn't the prettiest product. It wasn't the prettiest day weather-wise either for them to just sit out and enjoy the game. But they got what they came for. They got a win. It wasn't the prettiest, but that's what they came and showed up for. And they were a huge part of it. They made noise. They made it tough on Arizona in the fourth quarter, in particular, when the team actually gave them really the defense. But Sam chipped in with the touchdown run. When they gave them something to cheer for, they responded, and they were loud. And I'm pretty sure we're going to hear about it in the press conference. I'm pretty sure Rivera is going to acknowledge the crowd. Somebody, one of the media members, because they can't get enough of talking about the crowd and the sellout. So I'm imagining somebody asked Ron at the presser about the crowd and how good they were today, and Ron's going to give them a pat on the back, as he should. They were outstanding today. On to Denver, right? Like, that's all you can do is you correct the mistakes. You got a dub. On to Denver. That's all it is. That's what this league is about. It's not going to be pretty every week. And there are going to be games where you should have won by 3 touchdowns, but you don't. But as long as you win, that is all that matters. That is all that matters. You much rather be 1-0 than 0-1 with all the mistakes we made. I'd much rather be 1-0, moving on to Denver, trying to make it 2-0. All right? Somebody in the division is going to lose tonight. I don't know what Philadelphia is doing right now. I think they're going to struggle a little bit, but I think they're going to ultimately win that game against New England. But let's just see what's going on here. They're in a dogfight. It's halftime. It's 16-14. I already told you it's Tom Brady night. They're coming out, and they're going to be loud, and they're going to make it tough on Philadelphia. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose that game. We might look up, and we might be in first place by our damn self if Dallas and New York tie. Who knows? I don't really care about it. It's week 1. Like, we're not scoreboard watching in week 1, but understand, we got the dub. We got the dub. That's what matters. Frank McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Once again, Frank, shout out to my guy, Frank McLaughlin. Thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciate you, Frankie. My guy, Frank McLaughlin, writes, hey, Lou, cheers to 1-0. Cheers, Frank. Says, it was so great to see FedEx feel like that, but I'm not going to lie, they had me worried. I have faith that the O will get better. With what you saw today from Sweat, Allen, and Payne, does it change your sack prediction? Not necessarily, because I expected them to be dominant this year. I expect them to get after the quarterback. The key is, and Red Wing 01 said it already, and he said it best. The key is Chase Young. He's the X factor. I know what I'm getting out of Sweat, and I expect that number to go up this year. I think he had 8.5 sacks last year, 9 somewhere in there last year. He's going to hit double digits this year for the first time in his career. I feel confident in saying that. I already told you guys before the season started, he was going to be the Deron Payne, finish recipient of the season, and he was going to hit that 11.5, 12 number this year. I know what Allen is. Allen is anywhere from 7.5 to 10. All right. I don't think he's hit double digits in his career, but he's always hovering around it. He'll be right in that vicinity again this year. And Payne didn't have a sack today, but boy, was he disruptive. He was dominant, and he was one of the leaders in the league with tackles for loss last year. He probably had 2 or 3 tackles for loss today. Let's go check and see what the tackle for loss number was for him in this game. I'm going to say he had 2 tackles for loss, maybe 2.5. I don't know if they credited him with the one where he didn't make the tackle. He might not get credit for that because he didn't make the tackle, but he blew the play up, and the running back got away from him. But it ended up being like a 4-yard tackle for loss. That was all Deron Payne. So let's see. Deron had Deron had 2 tackles for loss today, and he should have had a third, the one where he let the running back go. But he was destructive. I expect them to do what they did today. I expect the X factor is going to be Chase Young whenever he finally decides to bless us with his presence. He's the X factor. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Wilfredo writes, what did you think of the offensive scheme? Still feels like we're not using our receivers enough, but maybe it's just me, and maybe it's also just week 1. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're spot on. The tight ends led the team in targets today. The receivers, I thought, could be a bigger part. I don't think we got it in their hands. All offseason, we kept hearing, get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. I don't think we did that well enough today. Where was the Terry slant? I don't think we ran one of those today, right? Where was the 5-yard stop? Just get it in the hands. We did a wide receiver screen to Curtis Samuel that was ineffective. We tried to get it to Curtis underneath a couple of times. But outside of that, there wasn't a lot of getting guys involved. There wasn't a lot of getting guys involved to me, run after catch. Like we saw against Dallas last year, where we were getting guys on slants in one-on-one matchups over in the middle of the field, isolating, matchups that we liked and going to them. I don't really feel like we did that, And again, I don't think we were balanced enough early in the game. I don't think the balance came, and then I never felt like we were balanced in the game, to be honest with you, because on one hand, early, I thought it was way too much passing. Then on the other hand, and at the end of the game, I thought it was too much running, and that we didn't feature the pass enough, and that they went super conservative. They didn't want to put the ball in the hands of Sam at the end of the game and you could look at it one of 2 ways. You can look at it as an indictment of the offense and Sam and how they felt about Sam, or you can look at it as they just trusted the defense and they disrespected Arizona's offense and said, you're not scoring a touchdown. So why even bother? Why even put the ball in harm's way? Why even do anything other than just run it here? Because they can't score on our defense. And they were right. So you can look at it one of 2 ways. They're probably going to tell you, no, this had nothing to do with Sam. No indictment on the offense. We just were trusting our defense. We knew they couldn't score a touchdown on our defense. But as a fan, and I understand that thought process and that way of thinking, and they weren't wrong in doing that. As a fan, we've seen that too often, though, where you're relying on the defense to close the show. How about you let the offense do it for a change? How about the offense put their foot on somebody's neck and not the defense always having to be the violent one? How about the offense wake up one morning and decide to choose violence instead of the defense always having to be the one to do so? That's all. How about the offense take somebody's dick and put it in the dirt? That's what we want to see as fans. We want to see this offense be dynamic. We didn't bring EB here to score 20 points a game this season, all right, which is still an upgrade over last year, but that's not why we brought him here. We brought him here to score 24, 25, 27, 28 points a game, and we may ultimately get to that. But week 1, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't disappointed, but it's week 1. I mean, what are you going to do? Give the Cardinals credit. They were flying around the football field. I think it's a combination of both, but honestly speaking, I think it has more to do with week one than it has to do with anything else. I want to see the receivers more involved, though. They didn't know what to respect. Remember, they kept talking about, trying to prepare for this. They didn't have any tape on Arizona, really. And you could tell it looked like they didn't really know what to expect from them. They thought, oh, well, yeah, Jonathan Gannon did this in Philadelphia, and their defensive coordinator came from here. And it looked like that. It looked like we were guessing, and we weren't sure. Rob U, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Rob U, writes, Lou, I'm still trying to calm down, fam. A win is a win, but we got to be patient with 14. The thing is not going to get any easier competition-wise. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, this is what you want week one when you're trying. Like, this is why college teams who don't have a preseason, mind you, right? There's no college preseason. Their first game of the season. This is why you don't schedule, Alabama or Georgia or Florida or Tennessee in week one, or Florida State or Oregon. You know why this is why you schedule East Mississippi State in week one of your season in college. Why? Because you expect mistakes. You expect to make mistakes. You expect slow starts. You expect things to not be crisp and sharp as they might be 3-4 weeks later down the road when you finally see one of those really good teams that's ranked. This is why you are excited about the fact that they blessed us with Arizona week one. Because had this been the Rams, and I think they're going to stink this year too, Matthew Stafford probably would have beat us without Cooper Kupp today. Probably would have beaten us without Cooper Kupp today. So you're actually thankful that they gave us Arizona in week one while we're still trying to figure some things out. It's a part of the process, and it's the nature of the beast. It just is in the NFL. And I can't keep stressing this to you. Look around the league. Look at the way teams played today. Look at Minnesota at home. Look at the way Cincinnati played on the road today. And that weather was not ideal. Doesn't matter. Look at how they played. They scored 3 whole points today. All right. Look at New Orleans and Tennessee and look at that score and look at how that game went. Look around the league, man. All right. A lot of mistakes today. A lot of low scoring contests. You're not going to see a lot of 40-point outbursts in week one because the defense is ahead of the offense and offenses are still trying to get. Defense is less about timing and rhythm. Offense is a lot of timing and rhythm, and you're not going to get that unless you play football. You're not going to get timing and rhythm in practice. You can practice all you want. The game is different because you're not getting looks that you know you're getting. All right. Teams are going to switch it up. They're going to give you things that are unscouted that you're not ready for, and you got to adjust. Now we got more tape to be able to comb over, to see this offense, see some mistakes they made, clean up some things. You're gonna have tape on other teams. We didn't have any tape on Arizona, so we were kind of grasping at straws, what to expect from them. We had no clue what we were going to get from them. So now you got tape on Denver after they play this game, and you can see some of the things they like to do, what they like to do out of this formation, what they like to do out of this look and that look, and you can kind of start to formulate a better game plan and start to get yourself into better situations. We're going to be fine. Trust me, we'll be fine. This was more week one than anything else, but you got to clean. The turnovers have nothing to do with week one. That's sloppy play that we got to clean up. We just got to be better, period. All right, the timing, Terry going across the field, Sam throwing it behind him, that's week one shit. That's timing. Terry not practicing for 2 weeks and then just practicing it. That's timing, right? That's week one shit. Not being balanced with the play calling and having Antonio Gibson in there instead of Brian Robinson, that's some week one stuff. All right? As we get into the season, they get more comfortable with the players, knowing what his strengths and weaknesses are. You'll see a lot of this stuff ironed out and we'll be much better for it. Ramon Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ramon writes, I didn't have the same queasiness when we were down like past years. I just knew we were going to win. I have more confidence in this team. I don't know if my confidence really stemmed from the fact that I'm more confident in this team as of right now. I think it had more to do with my lack of confidence in Arizona's ability to really threaten us. I think it was less about us and more about them. I wish I could be co-signing what you're saying right now and be like, oh, I never doubted because I got the utmost confidence in this team. That I'd be lying to you. I had the utmost confidence that we were going to win this game because the opponent was Arizona and they didn't scare me. I was being real disrespectful. Had every right to be, and they showed us why. They fought their asses off. They're an NFL team, and this is what I tried to convey to you. Like on Friday, even Thursday, I don't know if y'all saw me moonwalking on Friday because I was talking cold hard cash on Wednesday, and on Thursday I was in my Mike Jack bag. I was moonwalking. I was like, hey y'all, man. Part of the title was respect thy opponent, right? Like y'all saw what I was trying to do there. Okay, so understand that I in the back of my mind, I wanted to do these boys in the worst way. Right after a long day, I was really looking to be disrespectful to them. But I also said, hey, man, I know us. Don't nobody know us better than us. And if we know us like we think we know, the likelihood is this is going to be a lot closer than we would like it to be. Okay. They're an NFL team. They get paid. And I told you, I said this over and over again. It's not week 13 and they're not 1-11 and they haven't already quit yet. It's week 1. They're 0-0, and all they've heard this offseason is how bad they're gonna stink. And they came out like they had a chip on their shoulder, like, oh, we gonna stink? Okay. Like they had a whole bunch of pent-up aggression and they was looking to open a can of whoop ass on us. And it felt like they were doing that early on in terms of the physicality. G-Style, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, what it do, Lou? What's going on, G-Style? I'm happy with the dub, but didn't care for the 3 straight runs after the fumble. Nobody did. I was cool with the first 2, get the clock running, make sure that you end up in a 3rd and manageable, which ended up being like 3rd and 6 or 7. I had no problems with the first 2 runs. Go ahead, get that clock in motion. Don't want to, after the turnover, the clock is their worst enemy and our best friend. Get that thing rolling, right? 3rd down, though, at that point, I'm not worried about clock stoppage. I ain't worried about making Arizona use a timeout. Although I will say it did benefit us because I believe they used their first timeout after that last run and called it and stopped the clock. And then they only had 2 late in the game. And that's what ultimately allowed us to, run the ball 3 times and just punt it and secure the victory. But that's no here nor there. If you're afraid of the clock stopping, run a safe pass, right? Run something quick. If Sam doesn't like what he sees, have him slide down. Like I know you don't want to lose any yards and all that good stuff, but there is a way you could have put the ball in Sam's hands and tried to get a first down and not just went run and then kick the field goal. But he says, I wanted a little bit more killer instinct. Keep up the good work, big homie. I appreciate that. We all kind of felt that same way. But look, I'll take it any way I can get it. And I understand the strategy behind what they did. I don't have to love it. As a matter of fact, I don't. But I get it. I understand it. As do all of you. You may not love it, but you knew what they were doing. You knew what the intent was. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. I got Rob, right? Number 24, are we still doing this fumbling thing? And 35, you got to make that game-changing interception. Yeah, that's a great question. Like everybody's talking about Tez trying to get to the bag, Curl trying to get to the bag. This is also a contract year for AG. So not off to a great start for him. But again, still got 16 more games to show and prove your worth. But that was not a great start for him. And for some reason, they love him at the running back position in terms of over Brian Robinson Jr., which I can't understand for the life of me. And they were going to look like they were going to give him touches today. And he blew it. And Percival, I had a bone to pick with him today because he got in the game. They had a run for 5 yards, and he gets up. Hype. I'm like, bro, they just got 5 on first down. Go sit your ass down somewhere. And then he dropped the pick. I'm like, bro, what are you doing right now? Like, you are in my doghouse right now. I like Percival, though. And he had a chance to make a play. But he got to make that play, man. We can't talk about wanting to start fast and wanting more turnovers this year, and then you get one thrown right to you and you don't pick it off. In a scoring situation, like Forbes had the same opportunity, wasn't like right here. I don't think Forbes would have dropped that one, but it was on his back hip. He ran the route so good, it ended up on his back hip, but that wasn't taking away a scoring opportunity. That still served the same purpose. You could argue it was even better because we would have gotten worse field position had Forbes picked that pass off. Whereas Percival not catching that pick allowed them to get a field goal to start the second half. Like, they shouldn't even been on the field. Gotta have it. Twin D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Twin D writes, I just checked out the Soul Survivor chart. A good 90% of the chart must have been sweating buckets. LOL. I told y'all on what was it? Thursday? I think it was Thursday. If it wasn't Thursday, it was Wednesday. I think it was Thursday. I said literally 80 to 85% of the entire Survivor pool has Washington. And I knew I had to go Washington. I debated, and I was kicking myself, midway through the third. I was kicking myself because I was watching the Ravens game on the other TV, and I knew the Texans were going to hang in there, but they made too many mistakes. They looked like a young team with the first-year head coach and a rookie quarterback. They made a lot of bad mistakes. But I was like, man, I probably should have took the Ravens. But I'm like, this is the difference, and I know my team. I'm not going to get another opportunity to pick Washington. There will not be another opportunity to select Washington the remainder of the Survivor pool. I'll have another opportunity to use Baltimore. Especially, and I don't know if that division is playing the AFC South or not, but if they are, I'll definitely they'll play Indianapolis or they'll play, Tennessee. I'll have another opportunity to pick Baltimore. I'm not worried about that. I won't get another opportunity to pick Washington. So I knew I had to take them in week one. And if they couldn't beat Arizona, then I deserve to be eliminated from the Survivor pool. That's how I felt. But you're not wrong. Literally 80 to 85 to upwards of 90% of the Survivor pool had Washington. So, yeah, it could have got real murky real fast. Robert Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, just leaving the game, it was electric in the stadium. We felt it at home, Robert. We felt it, man. I mean, the environment looked, sounded, and felt through the television like a true home game for the good guys. I was so happy and proud of you guys. Haven't seen the stadium so packed with fans. It was great. We knew that this could happen when Daniel Snyder was finally gone. When he was exiled, we knew that this could happen. And here we are. Now, again, the team has to win. If you want it to stay packed, they got to give the home fans something to cheer about. J Mart, stand up. You know what it is. Been a member for 22 months. J Mart writes, "Sup, Lou? We knew the O-line was a problem, but damn. I mean, I wasn't. I got to go back and watch. I'm gonna take the coach approach when they usually say got to watch the film. I got to go back and watch because I felt like some of those sacks were probably on Sam. I really do. A lot of the stuff gets charged to the account of the offensive line when it's not always the case. They were not good. Okay, I'm not here to tell you that they were good, but I'm not here to tell you they were horrible either. This feels like an overreaction, like it was after week one of the preseason. That's how I feel because I felt like Sam had time most of the day. I felt like Sam was holding on to the damn ball way too long, and I want to go back and watch to see if these were long developing routes or if he was just sticking on to a receiver for too long and needed to get through his progressions faster or what, because if these are long developing routes, that's on the staff. You know what this offensive line is. They're a work in progress. You can't have them blocking for 4 or 5 seconds and expect nothing to happen. At least 2 of those sacks were every bit of 3.5, 4, 5 seconds. Sam had the ball. That's not on the offensive line at that point. Are you kidding me? So I'm going to say of the 6 sacks, I think they had 6 sacks. I'm going to look real quick. But I think they had 6. Of the 6, I'm going to say 3 was on the offensive line. I'm going to say the other 3 was on Sam or the play calling. That's my guess. I could be wrong about that, but I'm going to check right now and see how many sacks they had. Yeah, 6. And I'm going to say of the 6, 3 of them were on the offensive line. They got to be better. Broncos look like they're struggling to score still. So that's a good thing. We see them next week. Packers are dominating the Bears, and I thought they would. And the Rams and Seahawks are in a tight battle. So as you can see, week 1 is tough for everybody. It's not just us. I always encourage you guys, look around the league, okay? Don't just focus on Washington. Like, take a gander around the league, because when you live in a vacuum, you're thinking it's gloom and doom, skies falling, oh my God, we suck. No, everybody's struggling week 1, all right? I'm looking up and down. I haven't seen a single 30-point performance. Jacksonville and the 49ers are the only 2 teams that have scored 30 points in week 1 to this point. Nobody's even come close to 40. And I'd venture to say that there are at least 7 teams that scored 19 points or less that didn't make it to 20. Arizona, the Texans, the Bengals, the Vikings, neither the Saints or Titans, the Panthers, the Steelers. And then there's some teams that didn't even make it to 10. The Texans, the Bengals, and the Steelers didn't even make it to 10. So, I mean, look, it could be worse. Trust me. All right. O-line has to clean it up, though. 3 sacks is 3 too damn many, even if they're not on the hook for all 6. If it's 3, if it's 4, that's 3 or 4 too damn many. Viscount. Been a member for 2 years. Viscount. Salutes to you. Our D-line was epic. All of them. Even Abdullah Anderson. You're damn right. You love when a plan comes together, right? They were exceptional. All of them. You're right. Even the backups in terms of the edge rushers. The only guy, and they got one of the young guns in there early, and he gave it up on a boot, and he was all out of position. Get his ass out. I don't have time for this shit. Get him out. I think it was Andre Jones. Whoever number 50 is. Let me look up and see what number. Now that the rosters have been finalized, let me see what number, who's number 50, because I want to say it was 50. It had to be 50. His ass was out of position, some kind of terrible. I'll get his ass off the goddamn field. I was pissed off. Let me check the roster real quick so I can start learning some of these dudes who's sneaking in the damn game. Let's see. They ain't gonna have the numbers up here because he didn't record a tackle, I think. Let me see. I'm gonna go look at the dang on team. I had a bone to pick now, so I want to see this dang on number 50, if there's even a number 50 on him. Andre Jones Jr. I knew it was his ass. Number 50. He got in on 1 snap in the first quarter, gave up a big ass bootleg on his side. He crashed down like a damn rookie. I was like, yeah, get his ass out of there. Get him out. I don't have time for this incompetence. I got too many defensive ends on this roster. Get his ass out of there. I didn't see him the rest of the game. And I'm not saying that he didn't play, but I didn't see him the rest of the game. That's for damn sure. And I shouldn't have. Rob Yu, been a member for 24 months. Greatly appreciate you. Salutes to you, Rob Yu, who writes, the O-line had some moments where they played really well, but man, I still think that I'm not going aggressive at right tackle and left guard is going to hurt the team long term. Again, you can circumvent some of those issues. If you believe in Ricky Stromberg, if Sam Cosmi is hurt, let's hope that it's nothing serious, but he did not finish the game and Stromberg did. Let's hope Ricky is going to, pay off that 3rd round selection, right? And make it worth the 3rd round pick. And maybe you found something there with Gates at center and Stromberg at guard. Maybe you luck into, hey, Stromberg's pretty damn good at right guard now, isn't he? Like, let's hope that's the case. You still got Chris Paul, so it's not like the depth is extremely nasty at this point. You still got Chris Paul backing up, so you're still good there. And now with, Larson stepping into, or Ricky Stromberg stepping into right guard, if for, any amount of time, you still have Tyler Larson. This is why it was important that you kept 3 centers, because now Stromberg can go in at guard. And we saw that on the depth chart. He was the primary backup to center and guard. But now Larson is still there, and you pull him up on game days and you're fine, right? So I think the interior depth is fine. Tackle is an issue for me. And it is an issue, and it's going to continue to be. We have to do a better job of game planning to protect our tackles, but Andrew Wiley in particular. Black Mel, 67. Stand up. You know what it is. We in the building. You are the newest member of the MOBB mob. Y'all know what to do. Show Black Male 67 some love. Welcome him with open arms. Let him know how we do it in the MOBB. Black Male 67, welcome to the squad. Glad to have you. Joseph's Journey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Joseph's Journey writes, Dotson needs more target. His curl routes are open. He'll get more targets. You know, this was not a great game overall for the offense as a whole, but I saw what I needed to see out of our receivers. They were open. You know, they were open. They made runs after the catch. They did the things that we know they're capable of doing. Terry drew a huge pass interference. Again, that's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but that led to the first touchdown of the game. Like, you can't forget about that. So, and that's Terry, you know, with a damaged toe. He ran right by that defender. Right by him, and that ball was on the money had he not been tackled essentially by that corner. So our receivers are going to be just fine, including Jahan. G-Style, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I just wanted to double up, big homie. LOL. Hey, I appreciate you, G-Style. Thank you for the super chat. Rob U, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Rob U writes, what's going on with Cheeseman and these snaps? I wish I could tell you. You know, we got the excuse in camp, and I let it rock because it was camp. And as soon as it made its way to an actual game, and it did against the Ravens, that's when I said, now this is a problem. I need this corrected. I don't want to hear about him trying a different grip. I don't want to hear about anything else other than him getting the damn ball back to Tressway in an acceptable manner that's going to keep that operation flowing like a well-oiled machine. That is not what we saw today. We saw a low snap. We saw a high snap. He needs to get his shit together and fast. I don't want to keep having conversations about Cameron Cheeseman. Going Commando, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, dub is a dub, but a few takeaways. Number one, play to your competition. I hate that, right? That's how it felt like we did today. Felt like we played down to the level of our competition. I don't like that. Two, Turner is TE1. I can't confirm that, right? I can't co-sign that quite yet. Got to give Logan an opportunity to really work his way back. Man really didn't play all summer. Like, let's be fair. He's an older player, didn't play all summer. He needs the reps. I would like to see Cole Turner be in on passing situations a little bit more. But you can't have obvious tells. Oh, 85's in the game. They must be throwing the ball. Like, you got to keep it where they don't know if it's a run or a pass. But I'd like to see more of Cole Turner. I think we could all agree on that. But I'm not ready to run Logan Thomas out of there just yet. Like, you guys have to be patient with him, I feel like. Number three, stop with Gibby up the middle. His name is not Gibby. It's AG, or it's Gibson, or it's Tones, or Antonio Gibson. You get the drift. But, yeah, I agree. If you're going to give Gibson the football, perimeter, please. Out in space, please. Like, he used to be a receiver. He's not used to being in between the tackles consistently. When he's at his best, the Chicago game last year, the Green Bay game last year, the Indianapolis game last year, he's out on the edge in space. Treat him like Curtis Samuel. Get him the ball out in space. Curtis Samuel is a more reliable runner in between the tackles than Antonio Gibson is. He had a nice little hit for about 6 or 7 yards. Get Gibson outside. Those should be tosses, sweeps, a screen. You want to get Gibson the ball? That screen was a nice play to get him the ball. And I still think that was a first down. 4, Sweats getting the bag. And 5, the O-line. Yikes. Yeah. Look, I don't really know what else to say about the O-line. You guys watched the game like I did. It wasn't great. That's for sure. Alex Bonfield, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Alex writes, the announcers really said our pets' heads are falling off. LOL. I missed that. I know you had said it in the mob chat, right? And I laughed about it because, like you said, I love a good Dumb and Dumber reference, but I didn't hear that part. I missed that. Our pets' heads are falling off. I didn't hear that. I missed that one. Anyways, what did the defense do differently when they started killing them on the line? I just think they started playing with emotion. I think that football is a very emotional game. It's the ebbs and flows of the game. And I just felt like the momentum of the game totally shifted when Montez Sweat got that sack, forced fumble, and we recovered. And it's like the crowd then, because the crowd was kind of silent. I don't want to say it was absolutely silent, but they weren't, standing up, making a ton of noise. They were definitely in the game after that. And the defense, more so than the offense does, obviously, feeds off of the energy of the crowd. And it felt like they really started to sense that, hey, we have this game. It's on our shoulders. We're going to have to preserve. Like, they knew we're not scoring 23 points. If the Cardinals score a touchdown, it's over. Like, it's on our shoulders. And I remember after Sam ran in for the touchdown, I was like, Joey, make this extra point because we might not score again today, but neither are they. Like, and when he banged it home, I was like, hey, D, make that shit work. Make that 16 stick. Okay? Make 16 work today because I don't know how many more opportunities we're going to get to score. And they was like, well, you know what? We'll create another one for you, which is what we didn't do last year. We didn't create scoring opportunities. We might create a turnover, but it's down on the other end of the field, and the offense still got to drive 52 yards to get in the field goal range. Both of the turnovers generated today put us in position to score immediately. Should we do nothing else with the ball, we were already in field goal range both times. So that was refreshing, That's what we need more of. Short fields for the offense, created by the defense. I just feel like the momentum of the game shifted, Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Fat American writes, everyone been talking about we going to blow the Cards out. I had a gut feeling this game would be close, no cap. At the same time, isn't it possible the Cards are just tough on defense? They look tough. They were tough. Is it possible that they're not trash? Sure, it is. The likelihood is that they are trash, though. Because even if the defense is good, they're going to give up some stuff. And the offense isn't going to do anything to stop the other team from having momentum and creating momentum because the offense isn't good in Arizona. And not to say that their offense can't get any better, with more reps with Josh Dobbs. He just got there not too long ago. But the likelihood is their offense is going to be what it is until Kyler Murray comes back. And then even when he comes back, they could still struggle on offense. I'm just so glad we didn't have to deal with him today. We would have lost if he would have played. Be thankful that it was Josh Dobbs and not Kyler Murray. I'll say that. But, remember last year we were upset because we lost to the Lions? Look what the Lions turned out to be. Like, the Cardinals could turn out to not be trash on defense. They could end up with a 7th overall defense in the NFL, and their offense could be putrid, 31st in the league, and that's why they end up being 3-14. But not because of their defense. They could be like the Denver Broncos last year. I doubt it. I think their defense is solid. I don't think it's that good. I think we made them look a lot better than what they truly are, to be honest with you. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. But you're not wrong. It could be. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Rob Yu writes, I got nothing but confidence in EB, but would have liked to have seen more runs in the first half. Seemed like Sam dropped back a lot. He did. It's no seeming like he dropped back a lot. He did drop back a whole hell of a lot in the first half. Too much for my liking. One of the things I told y'all was like, hey, it's not going to be on Sam's shoulders in week 1. Like, so much of I told y'all that Brian Robinson was going to have a career day. He never even got an opportunity to do that because they didn't even give him the rock in the first half for real. And it wasn't until Antonio Gibson fumbled that they finally put Brian Robinson really in the game and started giving him the bulk of the carries. It wasn't up until that point. Gibson was getting all the work for the most part. So, yeah, I thought it was a bit imbalanced in the first half. I've spoken to that already. Video channel, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Gibson lost some money today. I don't think he lost some money today. I think he lost some confidence today. The staff lost some confidence in him, rather. I don't think he lost any money. It's 16 weeks of football left. He can go out and have a career year this year as a pass catcher and continue to show why he's dynamic, and he'll be fine. But he can't keep doing that. His opportunities are going to dwindle if he continues to do that. He's going to have to take care of the football. And that was a great play by the defender. Got to give him credit, too. J Mark, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, If 13 makes that interception, crowd would have went nuts. Yeah, they would have. I mean, they went nuts because he made the play anyway. It was 4th down. Our rookie, makes a huge play in the game. They were already amped. They would have taken it to another level, though, had he picked it off. I know I would have. I would have probably jumped out of my seat had he picked it off. But just making the play, I was like, hell yeah, Rook. Hell yeah. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Video channel writes, Sam and Ron got 12 more weeks to show they can work, or it's Washington trading picks to Arizona for number 1. We'll see. We will see what happens. It's a long, long season. And if you're Washington, the last thing you want to do is be looking for a quarterback next year. That's the last thing you want to do. It's too early to be having that conversation anyway. But we'll see. You know how I feel. Sam's going to prove to be the franchise quarterback when it's all said and done. And if you didn't walk away somewhat impressed with him off schedule, then I don't really like. One of our biggest problems is we haven't had a quarterback here to create off schedule in ages. The quarterbacks that we had last year refused to run, right? So you wouldn't have scored that last touchdown to take the lead with Taylor Heineke or Carson Wentz last year because they didn't want to run, neither one of them. Sam accounted for 2 touchdowns today off the strength of off-schedule plays. You got to acknowledge what he was able to do in the red zone today. That is a trait that's transferable to next week, the week after that, the week after that, and the week after that. It's what the game's been missing for us is a quarterback in the red zone that can make shit happen. Now we just got to be better from 20 to 20 to get us to the red zone, which we weren't today. We weren't our sharpest. And it wasn't just all Sam. Antonio Gibson fumbles the ball, that killed the drive. We were heading towards points. Zoe Life, No Life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes 3 drop interceptions from us? Oh, okay. Because I was like, I think Arizona only dropped like 1 or 2 in particular. And those weren't easy by any stretch. And one of those wasn't even Sam's fault. He says, Curl, Butler, and Forbes. Yeah, I mean, those were drops. The Butler one stands out. I'm not tripping on Forbes or Cam Curl. Curls was tough. He was diving over a dude, turned sideways. Like, that was going to be a tough play. If he makes that play, you go, oh, shit. Cam really trying to get to the bag. This is still a hell of a play, but that's a tough ask. Whereas Butler's, I mean, that's Jug's machine, right? That's pitch and catch. That's right here, right in your line of vision, right here. And he just dropped it. Now, I will say, as he got his head around, the ball was on him quick. Catch the ball. And that's why he's a DB and not a receiver. So, anyway. Got you. I thought you were talking about Arizona had 3 opportunities for picks. Spicy Kicks Hawaii. Stand up. You are officially in the building as the newest member of the MOBB mob. Y'all know what to do. Show Spicy Kicks Hawaii some love. Welcome in with open arms. Looking forward to chopping it up with you. Spicy Kicks Hawaii. Welcome to the squad. Glad to have you. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, if there was one thing I've been waiting to see since last year, it was Sam's connection with Curtis Samuel. They were pretty quiet up until today. You're right. They had been. There wasn't really a lot going on there. I thought that was intentionally done, though. I thought they were really saving Curtis for the regular season. And like you said, you saw the connection today. He was the only guy that Sam targeted. Every single time he targeted him, he caught the football. 5 targets for Curtis Samuel, 5 catches. So I thought he had a really good showing today. That catch before the half was huge. It's huge. So I you know what I was really anxious to see with Sam, and it kind of continues with that narrative of he's unflappable. They're going to be ups and downs. They're going to be peaks and valleys. There's going to be moments of real tension this season. And I wanted to see how he would bounce back from a little adversity, right? This wasn't like the preseason where he took a bad sack and it's 3rd and 16 and he throws a 17-yard dart, or 3rd and 21 and he throws a 22-yard dart or whatever. You just gave up 7 points, bro. Before half, we were winning and now we're losing because of you. How do you respond? And he stood in there and he delivered dime after dime. That he missed one. He had Jahan open on the sidelines and he airmailed it by like 4 yards over his head. And what did he do on the next throw? Throw a dime to Curtis in the pocket with trash around him. He showed me a lot today. It wasn't pretty. You know what the best teams do and the good quarterbacks in this league do? They find a way to win when they don't have their fastball. We can make excuses. It was Arizona. It was this. It was that. It was wet outside. Yeah, we can make all the – find a way to win. That's the shit that there's no excuse for. Find a way to win. How we won? Yeah, there's an excuse for that, or 2 or 3. But find a way to win. That's what's important. We did that. And I agree. Curtis, I didn't see the connection all preseason, and we saw it today. Just doing a quick score check, seeing what's going on. Eagles up 19-14, so they're struggling, just like I thought they would. Struggling. Raiders and Broncos 13-10. That's a little slugfest there. Packers are dominating the Bears, just like I thought they would. Rams surprisingly up on the Seahawks. Okay, that's one to keep an eye on. So anyway, just wanted to take a gander at that. Spicy Kicks Hawaii. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Spicy Kicks Hawaii. I'll look for a comment before we get out of here. Hopefully I'll remember, but I'll check to see if there's a comment in there for you if I don't hear from you again. Tyler C. Stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. So glad to have you on board. Mob, you know what to do. Show Tyler C some love. Welcome him with open arms and show him what it's like to be a member of the MOBB. Tyler C., welcome to the squad. Glad to have you. HTTR for life. Landmark, been a member for 20 months. Heading towards 2 years. Really appreciate you, HTTR for life. The Phillies Ace 34. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. The Phillies Ace 34 writes, congrats, Lou. Ugly, but a dub is a dub. Go Eagles. I'm about to say, I'm shocked to see you in here. You're supposed to be focusing on your team. You up 5 over there getting all you can handle from the New England Patriots, just like I thought you would. You're going to win that game, though. Joey, but I appreciate that, the Phillies Ace. It sounds like you might get an ugly dub yourself, but hey, a dub's a dub. Again, I don't give a shit what it looks like. Just put it in the left-hand column. We'll sort it out later. Joey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, 90-yard, 50-second field goal drive potential. That's what happened right before the end of the half, right? I think we had a penalty that backed us up to the 10-yard line, and then he had a quick strike right away to, I think, Jahan for 16 yards out to the 26-yard line, and that jump-started it. And they could have won it. Like, Mark Schlereth was on the broadcast calling for them to take knees and go to half after the fumble. And that shows you that they have confidence in Sam. Late in the game, I think, was more about Arizona's inability to move the ball against our defense and less about their lack of confidence in the offense. I think they were just like, no, we know they can't score on us. We're not even going to put the ball in harm's way. Anything could happen. A batted ball, like Sam could make the right read, guy could be wide open, and just like earlier, shit gets tipped and it gets picked off. Like, we could dial up the perfect play call, have a guy open for a touchdown, and some dumb shit could happen. We're not going to allow that to happen. I get the rationale. We just want to be more aggressive. But you see the potential, right? And I love the fact that they were confident then. Love it. 1/6 Devil Dot. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I agree. We need to run more plays under center and feed 8 more. I also checked my smartwatch during the game. During the entire game, my stress was through the roof. Yeah, because you didn't expect this. You showed up expecting a thorough ass kicking today, as most of us did. And it wasn't until the mid portion of the second quarter where I said, this isn't going to be what I thought it was going to be. Even with the slow start, I was like, hey, they can still get this work. It wasn't until the Gibson fumble when I went, uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's one of those days. Huh. Yeah. All right. It wasn't until that Gibby fumble or AG fumble, because up until that point, I was like, they can still get this work. You know, they one touchdown drive away from, because they're not scoring a bunch of points. I told y'all that they're not scoring a bunch of points in this game. So if we get to 14, they in trouble because they not scoring a lot of points. And we going to score again. We're not done at 14. But once Gibson fumbled, everything changed. Everything changed. Reedy Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, hopefully this is first game jitters. Could be. You know, there were a lot of things that didn't go the way that we intended them to go in this game. And you could chalk it up to whatever you like. But at the end of the day, we didn't execute and we made mistakes. And we gave the Cardinals opportunities to win this game or to be in this game. And that's on us. And we got to be better. Period. Trevor Patch, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Trev, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, always good going to the crib and coming back with the dub. Always. Always Coca-Cola. Yeah. Always like Coca-Cola. I've got to watch the all 22s, but I thought EB was on some Scott Turner shit with not stringing plays together and having plays build off each other. It felt Scott Turner-ish from a standpoint of the long developing routes and things. Again, that's why I said I'm with you. I got to watch the all 22s before I can make that assertion. I can't make that claim and put that on his account, right? I can't charge that to EB's account in week one. But again, all offseason we were told, you know how last year we kept getting told about Cole Turner and his ability to go up and get the football in the red zone, and then we never saw the shit? I don't want that to be a repeat of what we were told with Antonio Gibson as a pass catcher out of the backfield, and this offense's ability to get the ball into playmakers' hands, you know, quickly and let them do the rest. Like, that's not what we saw today. That's not what we saw today. So we'll see. I got to watch the all 22s. I'm right there with you, Trev. Like, I want to see what the hell's going on out there. Because this could be on Sam. And there were quick hitters in there. There were answers to some of this pressure, and he just didn't get to it fast enough. Or it could have been he was set up for failure because we got these 15, 17-yard routes developing down the field, which you need 3-4 seconds for, and it just wasn't there. Reedy Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Lou, game one, not perfect, but a dub. And that's the most important thing. That is the most important thing. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Elf Life writes, Joe Burrow, Lou. Yeah, it was a rough one for him today. Rough one. And the weather did not help in that game. The weather was really bad. I'm glad we didn't have that in our game because it could have got real nasty. But it was bad, but they didn't play well. The weather didn't help at all. But both teams had to deal with that weather. And the Bengals, or the Browns rather, still managed to score 20 points. So I'm not looking to make too many excuses. Silver Fox 52, been a member for 19 months. Appreciate you, writes, hey Lou, love your background music, LOL. Yeah. Hey, the little ones are like, look, we got to eat, man. What are you doing? I don't know who you think you are. You won't get far unless you eat. And the kids are like, hey, we got to eat. And so a lot of background music around today, man. Hey, everybody's excited about the victory, including the twins. All right. So they were down here screaming, go, go. My son was on the ottoman screaming, go, go. And Tez got the sack for his fumble. He know what's up. And he won. He know what's up. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, 31 other teams beat us today. 14 can't skip steps. I don't know if 31 other teams beat us today, but a lot of teams beat us today. Yeah. With the mistakes we made, yeah, pretty safe to say a huge chunk of the league beats us today with the mistakes we made. You're not going to win very many games doing what we did. I don't know if Carolina still beats us today or not, you know, with Bryce Young at quarterback. I don't know if I don't know. A lot of teams beat us today with how we played. Facts. I I don't know, 31, but yeah, a lot. Metaphor. And as far as Sam skipping steps, I just, here's the thing. We may skip steps with him. It's early. Remember, this is only start number 2. I know some of y'all think Sam's got 22 starts under his belt and he's going to change the game overnight. So he may still skip steps, but they have to help him. Like, they got to help him settle in. I remember you very vividly last year, Derek B, in week 1 when Carson threw that bitch like 47 times saying, this is not sustainable. We can't do this. We can't ask Carson Wentz to throw the ball 40 some odd times every week. We were heading in that direction. The trajectory was heading towards 40 before they took the air out of the football in the second half, specifically in the fourth quarter. Like, they got to be more balanced than that. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Metaphor writes, glass half full. Got to be better than, got a better record than the Super Bowl champs. Yeah, but that's not how I base or gauge anything off of. You know, they got their own set of struggles right now. They got an excuse as to why, and they still got Patrick Mahomes. We don't have Patrick Mahomes. So we got to be better. Okay? We got to be better. The difference between the Chiefs losing and us winning is the Chiefs turned it over, but they didn't get any turnovers in return, right? They didn't get any turnovers back. We got 2 back, and that saved our ass. If this thing ended 3-0, we lose this game. And that's the difference. I don't think the Chiefs forced any turnovers against the Lions. They forced one. I tell a story. They forced one when the Lions were going down for points and the receiver fumbled the ball. But that was deep in Kansas City's own territory. It's not like they set them up for a score, right? Our 2 turnovers that we forced were deep in Arizona territory, setting our offense up in positions to score. And that's what saved us. And that's why I say it all the time. Turnovers are the great equalizer. Without them, Arizona's not in the game. Without them, we don't win the game. Leno Ryan Benvenite. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, sup, Lou? What do you think of the overall tight end play today? And AG fumbling again. A win is a win. Ugly or not, we'll take it. Hashtag 808 Skins fan for life. Hashtag HTTC. So the overall tight end play today was solid. You know, Logan had a drop. John Bates had a couple of costly penalties. But Logan still had 4 catches. He had the most targets. Cole had a dynamic catch, a diving catch. So I thought the tight end position was solid. You know, it can be better, just like the rest of the team. It can be better, and it will be. All right. This is the first week Logan's been out there playing football all off season, so he'll get back into the swing of things. I think we'll see, you know, Cole Turner have a bigger role as the season progresses, and Bates will be fine. Bates will be fine. AG fumbling again. I think let's hope it's a one-off. Let's just hope it was a one-off. That was a great play by the defender again, you know, but he's got to hold on to the ball. That's been, you know, one of his Achilles heel throughout his career. He's got to be better than that. Pearson W3. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Pearson W3 writes, didn't expect Sam to look like Brady today. Just wanted to see him flash and get the win. If Sam keeps getting better, I'm good. Progress is important. And that's the key. I think some people were expecting, I might be partly to blame for that. Mistakes were made, okay? Because I said we needed to beat these dudes by 90. And I didn't stutter, and I don't regret saying that because I felt like we were the better team. And we were. Today proved it. Today proved we were the better team. The problem is we didn't always play like it. We played down to the level of competitions. We made a bunch of mistakes. And we kept the Arizona Cardinals in this game and almost cost ourselves from winning it. So I agree with you. I saw flashes. I saw the thing that I was most impressed with was his ability to bounce back from some moments in the game where it got tight. You know, there were some moments where you go, hey, Sam, that's not a good throw. That's not a good decision. Oh, man, Sam, come on, bro. You can't do that. Sam, you just gave up a touchdown, bro. You cannot fumble the ball there. And every time he was in one of those situations, I thought he responded the way that I needed to see him respond. That's why I think he's got it up here. Progress is definitely important, and I thought we saw some of that today. Cam G, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Cam G writes, disappointed in the O-line, had 45 looking like TJ Watt. They damn sure did. Now, first of all, Dennis Gardeck is a good football player. And he was on the injury report, and I told y'all he's their starting defensive end, and he's a problem. There was 1 year, and I told y'all this, where he's a special teams player. They put him in the game, and the man had like 8.5 sacks in 10 ball games. He was killing it off the edge. Or it was like 5.5 in 8 games, something like that, where you go, okay, there may be something here. And then he tore his ACL the next year. And then he kind of just went down the depth chart. And now the new group comes in and they look at him and they say, no, this dude is explosive off the edge. And you saw it today. Like Dennis Gardeck ain't no chump. He ain't TJ Watt either. We did make him look like TJ Watt in this game. So I agree with you. But he ain't minced meat. All right. Spence Collis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes. Win is a win, but that is like kissing a fat chick. Hey. What's wrong with kissing somebody that's a little overweight? I take offense to that statement. Okay? I take offense to that statement. All right. You said that as if big women can't be cute or something. So I definitely disagree with that. But I do agree with this statement. A win is a win. Red Wing 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Red Wing 01 writes, well, if Crowder is going to be the punt returner from now on, I expect him to get signed to the active roster after next week, and William Bradley King goes back to the practice squad. We'll see. We don't know the severity of Dax Milne's injury. So as of right now, you just have to assume that until Milne is back, Jamison Crowder is your punt returner. Man, he looked weird in 83, if I may say so myself. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, my pick, any team playing Arizona in the survivor pool, probably changing. Look, that's how you get got. You got to be strategic in how you follow around teams. Usually the sucky teams, yeah, you follow them around. But you're going to get got. They're going to win a game eventually. They're not going 0-17. So they're going to win a game. And if you follow them too closely, you might get got. So you got to be careful with that. Spence Collis, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Spence Collis writes, sorry for the offensive joke, but winning is nice. Nah, it's all good, bro. Winning is the key. Like, that's what you're looking to do. All right. DJ23, thank you for the super chat. Or thank you for being a member. 7 months. You've been a member. All right. Appreciate you for being a member for 7 months. Who writes, you fumble, you get called Gibby. I'm tired of it. Look, I can't tell y'all what to call the man. I've already made the PSA that his name is not Gibby, but a lot of y'all in the mob and during the chat, because I said literally to y'all, his name is not Gibby in the chat, and a lot of y'all responded with, hey, you fumble, you Gibby. Okay, I look, it is what it is. His mama named him Antonio. I'm going to call him Antonio. All right. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Derek B writes, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted some brisket. He wins easy. I mean, if you really believe brisket wins easy, you might as well go get you some Taylor Heineke, bro. I don't know what the hell you smoking on, Derek B. Honestly, I expect better out of you. You know how you in the first grade and your teacher expects good behavior out of you? And you got that one day where you just acting up, and you got 2 other kids with you acting up, but the 2 other kids is troublemakers. And she said, you know what, Derek? I am so surprised at you. I am shocked by you, okay? Because you know better. I am so surprised at your behavior right now. That's how I feel right now, Derek, because you know better than that. You know better. You know better. And if you talking that Jacoby Brissett shit, then we're going to have a lot of discussions this year, because clearly you haven't been watching, and I know you watch football. Clearly you haven't watched a lot of football. If you really think Jacoby Brissett would have been any different today, we might have lost the damn game with Jacoby Brissett in. because Jacoby definitely wasn't running for that touchdown. Was he going to scramble to his left, square his shoulders, and find Brian Robinson in the end zone for a touchdown? Are you kidding me? We probably don't score a touchdown today with Jacoby Brissett out there. Anyway, I digress. Frankie, yo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? The announcer said Cosme came back into the game. He was in concussion protocol because his helmet was knocked off. Okay. I didn't know what the problem was. I just know when they threw the screen to Gibson, he was out of the game. And I actually thought that Ricky Stromberg came in and did a good job on that screen, but we didn't get the first down. We did get the first down. They jerked us and didn't give it to us. And so I didn't even pay attention to the line after that. So hopefully Cosme did come back in, because I think he's in line for a big season. It's Sam Cosme. I think he can be really good for us this year. I really do. Kevin, the PRF, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, seems like EB is just saving B-Rob for this heavy second half workload. Well, you can't get to a heavy second half workload if you're trailing. Like, use B-Rob and his physicality to get you the lead, and then let him finish it off, or you can spread the wealth and you can bring in your rookie if you want him to get some touches or whatever. But I ain't trying to hear that. B-Rob need to be in from the jump. Leno Ryan Benvenite, been a member for 15 months. Writes, hit me with a double up for today's dub, Lou. HTTC. I appreciate you. Double up. We can double you up. We can double you up. Augustine the King. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Augustine writes, Antonio Gibson fumbled on a positive drive, killing momentum is a repetitive statement. He always does it. Get him out of here. When he fumbles, generally we're going towards our the other team's end zone. Yeah. That's not, you're not wrong. I remember him fumbling against Green Bay when we were going in for points 2 years ago. I remember him fumbling against Carolina 2 years ago when we were going in for points. Obviously, he fumbled today when we were going in for some type of points, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. Then the fumble 2 years ago against the Chargers in week 1, and he seems to do this early. Like, he usually tells us what kind of year it's going to be. He did it in week 1 against the Chargers, the game we lost, because he fumbled and it turned into the game when it scored for the Chargers. Let's hope that that's not the case this year, but not a great start. Hopefully it's not an ominous one, but not a great start for Antonio Gibson. That's for sure. Pearson W3. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I know fans wanted a blowout, but this is the NFL and not college. Blowing out teams are rare, and you don't make the postseason based off of style points. Facts. That doesn't change the fact that we wanted to look a lot better and sharper than we did today, and that we wanted to take advantage of a Cardinals team that we knew was going to be offensively inept. You wanted to win this game 27-6. You wanted to win this game, 30-13. You wanted to put up some points. You wanted to look effective. You wanted to feel good heading into week 2 about your offense. We feel great about the defense. I feel good about the special teams. I can't say the same for the offense right now. I feel okay about it. I don't feel terrible about it, but I don't feel excellent heading into week 2. But again, you get the win. And like you said, it's not college. You don't get extra points for winning by 50 points. And it is the NFL, and it is hard to blow teams out. I agree with everything that you just said. I'm about to check and do a score check real quick. See where we are. We should be getting towards the end of some of these games now. Chargers and Dolphins in a shootout. Eagles clinging to a 8-point lead. Packers destroying the Bears. And the Rams look like they're going to beat the Seahawks. Interesting. Without Cooper Kupp. Interesting stuff. All right. Leno Ryan Benvenite. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Now this is when you're really supposed to get double up. Says, mahalo, Lou, for your efforts in putting up top-notch content. Excited for the win and to see the team improve throughout the season. Thank you for that. And I too look forward to the team improving week after week, getting better and better, and having this product look like a team that we feel like can play bonus football by the time we get to weeks, 11, 12, 13, in that range. I think we'll look like the team that we thought they could look like early in the season, when we probably won't look that way. We'll look a lot better as the season progresses. So, Commander Wow, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Commander Wow writes, and double up, thank you for doubling up, writes, Coach EB to Gibby, we will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You fumble the football again, I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts, and then you will run a mile. Perfection. Let's go to work. Hashtag HTTC. Hey, you can never go wrong with a Remember the Titans quote. All right. You can never go wrong with one of those. He better, hey, you get to the point where you start talking to him. Are you having fun? No. Yes, sir. No. Yeah. I mean, maybe. No. Like, hey, bro, stop fumbling the ball. All right. William Batts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. William Batts writes, what up, Lou? What's up, William? Says, all I know, tomorrow is Victory Monday. Celebrate! You damn right it is. All right. The D was straight beasting today, and EB will get the O right. And I have no worries about that. I'm just disappointed in how today turned out because I had higher expectations for week 1. However, I understand that I haven't moved one bit. I have not. What did the good old Revs say? Don't sway. There will be wins. Don't sway. I ain't moving anywhere. I'm that oak tree. I ain't the palm tree. I ain't some of y'all the palm tree. You know, Derek B, he over here, he all over the damn place. I thought he was gonna uproot and blow down the street. All right. Some of y'all swaying all over the place already, right? Somebody earlier said, rip to NHO. He already rolling down the street. He tumbling down the street already, right? Somebody else said, oh, Sam's garbage or mid like I thought he was from the jump. His shit rolling down the street already, right? I'm an oak tree, bro. I'm sturdy and I'm as steady as I ever was. You think that one performance, when I told y'all from the jump, it's going to be games like this. I didn't expect it in week 1, but this ain't the last one of these. Hope you know that, right? So I have no doubts. I'm not swaying. I ain't moving. I'm in the same spot, bro. I'm good. I feel good about what we got. Abel Ambrosio, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Double A, thank you for being a member of the MOBB Rights. Tough loss for Baltimore losing J.K. Dobbins. He got hurt like 2 times in the game, but I know I didn't see him come back after the second injury. Yeah, that was tough. But man, what's up with the helmet to helmet today? These Cardinals players, but we got the dub. Man, they was coming after us, bro. I didn't like the shit. I told you they were being physical with us. I was like, man, somebody got to send a message to one of these boys, man. Bust somebody upside their goddamn head because this shit is flagrant out here. Nonetheless, we kept our cool and we got the dub, and that's the most important thing. So anyway, I wanted to look for my man and see if there was a comment. It's so many comments in here. I don't think I could find his comment, even if I tried. So unfortunately, I won't be able to, but welcome to the MOBB, as I mentioned already. That's going to do it for me, your man, Louie T. I thank you guys for joining me. Look, plenty to improve upon. Not the cleanest, by far, not the cleanest performance. Not what we were expecting, not what we anticipated. But we got what we signed up for and what we came for, and that was the dub. And that's the most important thing, is we wanted it to look a lot prettier. We wanted to be way more efficient. We wanted to take care of the football. We wanted the offense to go out there and stroke these boys. None of that came to fruition, but guess what? The overarching theme and the number one goal was to come out with a dub, and we did that. So just off the strength of that, you got to feel good, right? So Ice Queen 580, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. And once again, congratulations for winning the tickets, and congratulations for going to the game and bringing home the dub. All I ever asked is for you to do one thing. You did your job today. She says, hey, Lou, got back from the game. Thanks again for the tickets. The stadium was loud, and despite the heart attacks this team likes to give me, I had a great time. Hashtag HTTC. And I'm so glad I could be a part of that. Glad that that was your first experience. And the first experience was a winning one in a loud environment that felt like a home field advantage. And you showed up and you did your part. And to that, I say, thank you, Ice Queen 580. So getting it done. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Glad I could do my part to help. Elf Life, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Elf Life writes, not impressed by the Packers win. The Bears are a 3-win team last year. Were a 3-win team last year. They suck, and I see so-called experts putting them in the playoffs. Again, I don't know, because they don't know what Justin Fields is going to be. I told you I didn't see any growth from Justin Fields in the preseason. But then again, I saw a ton of growth from Kenny Pickett in the preseason, and he looked like Kenny Pickett from last year. But that's that 49ers defense, though. You want to talk about elite? That's an elite unit. So it could just be they played the 49ers, and Kenny Pickett's going to be just fine this season. But I wasn't impressed with Justin Fields, so I'm not shocked. But me and my dad were having a conversation, and he didn't think the Packers were going to be any good. We'll see. You could be right, and it could have been less about what the Packers did, more about what the Bears didn't do. We'll see. I haven't watched the game yet, so I'll take a look and see. But in any event, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie Tee. The Commanders get the 20-16 victory in week number 1, run their record to 1-0. Cardinals were game. They just didn't have enough of it. They dropped to 0-1. We'll see what happens Sunday Night Football. Hopefully you'll join me for overtime. Somebody's going to lose in the division. That should be fun. Rooting like hell for the Giants in that one. And we'll see what happens with the Eagles. They're up 8. They're going to hold on. The question is, do the Patriots make it even more interesting, or do the Eagles just pull away and win that game comfortably? We'll see. But in any event, Washington got the dub. I'm excited. Celebrate. We 1-0. We did what we needed to do. We got a lot of shit to clean up, but I'll take it all in stride with the dub. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care. I should see most of you later on tonight for overtime, Giants, Cowboys. Until then, y'all know what it is.
New Howell order.
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel. There's the snap. Hand to Riggins. Good hole. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20. He's gone. He's gone. Touchdown.